Yep. Welcome back to Soldier Field. We are just about to get set. Do my best Brent Miller, Jerry Taft impression. 69 degrees on the nose, 61% humidity. We have a beautiful night. It feels great. Feels a little crisp out there, doesn't it, guys? A little bit fall, a little bit football season. The Bears won the toss. They deferred, so they will kick off. This will be a Cody Parkey kickoff with Ray McLeod back deep. Here we go, guys. New kickoff rules in effect, of course. Number one, Cody, start this off and boot this thing for us. We're underway. The kick goes deep. It is going to go well past the end line, and we are going to be coming out with this one, guys. Bears are starting this game on defense, of course, and I like it because we had one of the best defenses in football last year. You keep Vic Fangio. Guys, what do you want to see right now tonight from this team?
Well, I think for me, increased turnovers. We know they've got the issues with the pass rush right now.
30-yard line, first down.
Issues with the pass rush right now, so pass rushers need to emerge. And if that happens, more pressure on the quarterback could lead to more turnovers, help the turnover differential. That is the biggest turning point in a ball game. What about for you, Corey?
And it's got to be the same thing. I got to look at the outside linebacker position. The guy I'm looking at is Isaiah Irving, number 47.
Guys, we did have a flag. It was Bears offside, so the Bills will start from the 30. And this is A.J. McCarron, who is really a household name in this country going back to college, will be under center for the first play of the night. He goes playing, he throws it out wide, and it is complete. Fighting for extra yardage is Zay Jones, their big draft pick from a year ago. Let's get back to this defense, though, guys. Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward 6 months. When we're talking about this team in January and February, looking back on the 2018 Bears, how do you want to describe this defense and how they look this year?
I do. I look for improvements in terms of a top 10 defense a year ago, and if certain things emerge, I think Vic Fangio can do a lot of things scheme-wise. Hard to believe they lost a lot of pass rushers last year, but still were able to generate 42 sacks. So I've got a lot of confidence in the defensive corner, and they've got bigger playmakers like Roquan Smith who'll be inserted into the lineup.
And I'm excited to see him this year. He's a playmaker out there. Hopefully he'll be healthy and ready to go week one.
I hope we can look back, guys, as we look at Vic Fangio there. Coach Nagy, of course, came on, decided to keep him. I hope we look back on this defense this year and say this was the defense that beat Aaron Rodgers. This is the defense that beat the Packers. Let's be honest here. In the interest of turning this team around, we've got a Packers problem we got to fix.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best in the league for a reason. He gets outside the pocket, can make every throw, so we got to beat the Packers.
You know, they've lost 8 of last 9 to the Packers. However, I look at the opener Sunday night in Green Bay as a gift. I think it's an opportunity. Instead of a slow rollout, let's see what this defense has. Let's see, we got a big hit there from the Bears secondary. Gain of 13, though, on the play.
It's like Joel, he gets up. See Deion Grant right there. Joel goes in, wraps up, makes a tackle. Deion Grant takes the worst of it there from the tight end of the Buffalo Bills. Good form tackle, though. Again, led with his shoulder. That's going to be a focus point here in the preseason. So nice job by Joel.
And you love to see the young guys rallying to the ball. That's what you love to see, the guys flying around.
There is A.J. McCarron, as I mentioned, national champion more than once at Alabama. He's bounced around. He's new in Buffalo. We don't really know what his status is tonight for Buffalo, guys. He could be playing for a starting job. He could be playing for a job at all, Jim.
Yeah, really, they brought him in to be the starter. The thing what concerns me for their young Josh Allen, quarterback who they drafted first round, they have 5 early games. Let's see what the call is here.
Personal foul, tripping, 71 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains
so they'll
first
move
down.
him back. So that's Marshall Newhouse on the penalty. Jim, keep going. What do you? We want to hear about this.
Yeah,
Josh
but when you look at their young quarterback, Josh Allen, they start off against Baltimore, and their pass rush that they see weeks after that, it doesn't get any better. So I don't know if they want to expose their young quarterback to that. They want to try and get A.J. up to snuff. Obviously, there was big concern that he fractured his clavicle, and now it looks like he's back in the lineup, so false alarm there. So A.J. probably still has a good opportunity to start week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens.
It's a strange identity crisis for that team, right? They bring in McDermott. Right. He gets to the playoffs for the first time in nearly 20 years, and then they change quarterbacks. You don't see it very much.
You don't. You really don't. 17-year drought, and here they move on from Tyrod Taylor.
Looking at a 1st and 20 now against the Bears, and McCarron's going to chuck one deep, and it is overthrown. Incomplete. Going to Corey Coleman. We've seen a lot of him on TV lately. Kevin Tolliver, the second in perfect coverage, stride for stride, and McCarron overthrows.
Yeah, great coverage right there by these guys here. Stayed with him the whole way, and he overthrows him deep.
You know, Jim, let's get back to that opener against Green Bay. You understand the rivalry. You battled Green Bay. You beat Green Bay. Corey, you too. What would it mean to start this season going into Lambeau and winning that game?
I think it's big. You got to split in division, and to do it on the road is tough to do. There's no doubt about that, but I do think there's the element of surprise. Not that Green Bay is going to be thrown off that the Bears offense, but they don't know where guys are going to be lining up. You know, from Tariq Cohen and all the new pieces to the puzzle, and they have yet to really see the Bears offense unfold. The same could be said for the Chicago Bears about Green Bay's defense. What is Mike Penton going to deploy? That's different from what Don Capers did a season ago. They haven't played a lot of their starters. So a lot of new faces that are going to be out there, and the schemes are going to be much different on the offensive defensive side of the ball.
And there you see the big guy, Roquan Smith, right there, looking on, cheering his teammates on. Man, I'm excited to see this guy this year.
Well, guys, we got a 3rd and long here. We got a 3rd and long for the Bills. Let's see if this defense come up with a stop so we can see this Bears offense on there, give the people something to cheer about. McCarron in the shotgun. Got 3 wide receivers. Tavares Cadet lined up next to him. Here comes that pass rush. Rolls, escapes the pocket. He's just going to throw this one away, guys. Here comes the punter. I love it.
Blown assignment, and Abdullah Anderson comes in free.
Let's look at the replay. I think we had Kevon Walker on a great pass rush here. What do you guys see?
And you see him here come through, and they just slide the protection. There was an MA by the running back right there, but he needs to get to his outside shoulder and keep that contained, Joe.
Yeah, excuse me. Kevon Walker really does a nice job right there. Blown assignment by the Buffalo Bills right there. Obviously takes him outside and contained. No play for A.J. McCarron to make other than throw it away.
So Bills come on to punt. When you back Deke, it's DeMarcus Ayers who is going to let this one. Oh, no. I think that was a thing of beauty. No, they're calling it a touchback. Guys, the Bears offense on the flip side. There is Tyler Bray. Let's light this thing up a little bit. We'll be right back. Bears offense next.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, Miller Lite, your local Ford stores, and United Airlines.
So we've got an update. I thought it was a 10 out of 10 punt, guys. It looked like a Rembrandt. I thought he coughed and cornered it. The referee signaled touchback. Sure enough, they looked at it. It is now Colton Schmidt's punt down inside the 5-yard line. So Tyler Bray, the QB1 today, is backed up way in his end zone for the first snap of the night on his own 2-yard line. And he looks to throw. I love it.
Little hitch route, easy pitch and catch out of your own end zone, and Tanner Gentry hauls it in.
Let's take another look.
Good timing right here. They're showing a hard run play action look here with the I formation. Easy sit down. You see the corner slough off. Good route. Way to stick your foot in the ground by Gentry.
Great route. He gets that separation. That's what you want to see from these young receivers.
So, guys, let's look forward again to Green Bay. If you could pick what the first play would be against the Packers, the very first play they run, what's the play, Jim, and how does it go?
I know everyone's going to say get aggressive and go deep.
Yes.
The Bears haven't gone deep. No, here's what I want to see, Kyle. I want to see Jordan Howard on a power play.
Okay.
Just to let Green Bay know he's coming now, and he'll be coming in the fourth quarter. I thought so many times he was ignored a season ago, even having a couple back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
And we saw a completion to Ben Broniker over the middle, so Bray starts 2 for 2. What do you want the first play to be?
I'm going to go on the opposite side. I'm going to take a shot deep to my man, Allen Robinson up top. He's a nightmare matchup for these DBs. I want to see him go deep.
You know, I think there would be a breath of relief if Allen Robinson gets out there and makes a big play early on, because there's so much riding on him this year. He's supposed to be such a big part of the offense. But, guys, with respect to you, to the power, to the deep shot, give me a double reverse pass by Tariq Cohen.
Whoa.
Let's get this thing going. If he can throw it. If we're talking hypotheticals here, yes, let's throw it down the field.
You're pulling out all the tricks first play, huh?
Trey Burton, Philly special, play one.
We call it the Windy Special now.
Yeah.
It's in Chicago. The
Changed
Windy
over.
Special. Exactly right. So we got a power run, we got a deep Allen Robinson pass, and the Windy Special. Obviously, our eyes are big here. We're excited about this offense. Second down now for Bray, who stays hot. Stays hot on the mat. Benny Fowler, who signals first down. I like it, Benny.
And much like Chase Daniel from a week ago, you can just see Tyler Bray's comfortable in this offense. 5-step drop, hits the little in cut to Benny Fowler, right in the midst. Perfect, and that's good for a first down. Nice pocket. Look at the pocket for Tyler Bray to drive the football. That's what you're looking for as a quarterback.
Great catch and concentration by him. Looking it in, securing the ball.
So it's a first down. Jim, let's continue this drive up in Green Bay as Taquan Mizell gets the ball. They run Jordan Howard on the first play. I'm envisioning it all crystal clear. Let's say he gets an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2. What are you dialing up?
2nd and 2. I'd probably pound it again. I
Pound
really
it
would.
again.
I'd pound it again. I think they're weak in their interior. Right now they've had to make some trades to get some inside backers. So I'd test the middle of that defense early. And then you could probably set up some run play action over the middle, much like an in-cut to Benny Fowler right there, right over the middle. I would challenge those interior linebackers of Green Bay. Going to be a good cat and mouse game.
Somebody get this down to Coach Nagy, please. This is Gems right here from Coach Miller on the mic. 2nd down for Bray. Looks wide again, and he stays hot. Fowler lunging for it. They're going to give it to him. It's close to that first down. Now, we want this night to be very inclusive, all right? We want to have this be a kind of a celebration of Bears fans. We want you Bears fans involved. You can send us a question. Send a question to Corey, Jim, me, tweeting hashtag QBConnection, and it could be selected to be answered by Jim up here in the booth during tonight's game. Questions are brought to you by Verizon. Jim, do you have all the answers for those questions?
We're going to see. I mean, any envelope I receive, I'm going to rub my head a little bit.
Is that right?
We'll see what happens.
That's the system?
Yeah, I'm the Swami.
Oh, we got a 3rd and short, and we got a big play.
Good cutback.
And Taquan Mizell in the backfield with a nice little jump cut, and we are moving the chains, gentlemen.
Yeah, good job by the offensive line right here, powering off. Looks like it's going to be an inside zone run. You got the ghost route. Defensive end closes too much. Taquan goes out the backside. So really nice job by Taquan Mizell right here. Look at the misdirection. Defensive end stuns him enough. Maybe a little face mask.
A big
right there
face mask.
that they missed right
Look
there.
at Mitch.
Deion
Look at
Lacey.
Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch saw the face mask by linebacker Deion Lacey right there of the Buffalo Bills. That's a good cut all the way back. That inside zone run, it can go front side, up the middle, and all the way back. Perfect example of it breaking all the way back.
And he made 3 guys miss on that play. Look at the elusiveness from him.
Taquan Mizell's fighting for it. This is the 8th play of the drive, and it's a beauty. Right across the field, we hit Tanner Gentry in stride. Bray's showing us something tonight, guys.
He really is. I mean, again, sustained drives is what Coach Nagy is looking for. Again, drives it right through. Tyler Bray has an incredible arm. Gentry hauls it in, gets down, gets what he can get, but perfect timing on that. You see him, as soon as he put his foot in the ground at the top of the stem of the route, he just broke, and that ball was right there in his face mask. Nice throw and nice rhythm of the offense right now.
And a great route running by Gentry. He's been looking good all night tonight.
Tyler Bray has yet to miss, gentlemen. He's 5 of 5. I hope I didn't put the kibosh on him, and I did.
You did.
Nobody does it better than me, guys.
Oh, man.
Incomplete, out wide. He is now 5 for 6. I apologize to the Bray family, to everyone related to Mr. Bray. We call him the Bray Maker. One of our initiatives tonight, guys, is we're trying to come up with a nickname, Tyler Bray, because we're going to be seeing a lot of him.
Yeah.
Probably 4 quarters. So whether it's the Bray Maker, whether it's 50 Shades of Bray, if Soldier Field is going to be Castle Bray Skull, we want everyone to be involved. Tweet your nicknames to the Chicago Bears. In fact, we'll show you the ones we've already got. As Mr. Bray hands it off to Mr. Mizell, up the middle, breaking tackles, fighting forward. He looks great tonight, too. So here we are, guys. Give me some grades for these. Here, first we have, now watch me whip, now watch me Bray. I sound terrible. That's for Hey and Scotty. Let's go to the Rock, Brazy Train. Shout out to Ozzy Osbourne. Another Bray in Paradise. Then we have the Coolio contribution, Branksta's Paradise. That's from Ryan Heckman. Ombre, Bray La Vie, Bray Keen Bad, and No Bray Jose. Guys, pick a winner out of those.
That's pretty creative right there. I like Brazy Train.
Brazy Train?
Yeah.
I like Watch Me Whip. Watch me
Bray. All right, let's try to Bray here for 6 points. Unfortunately not. He went to Taquan again. They had a nice thing going on this drive, but that brings up 4th down.
A couple of back-to-back man-to-man coverage. See the linebacker coming out, inside out. Pretty good throw. I always bring this up. That's a tough angle to throw the football when you're throwing to the flat right that, and the backer was in the hip pocket. Maybe a little bit more accurate. He could have hauled it in, but they'll try for a field goal right here. See if they can get points out of this opening drive.
47-yarder for Cody Parkey on that right hash. Be nice to get some points on the drive, like you said, Jim. Snap's good, holds good, kick is up. And the Bears are up, 3-0. We are off and running, guys. We got nicknames, we got tackles, and we got points. Bears up 3-0. Preseason game number 5. Guys, I'm thrilled to bring you the scoring drive summary brought to you by Ford. 12 plays, 69 yards, 5:54 off the clock, and Cody Parkey with a no-doubter 47-yard field goal. Bears are up early. I like it, and they look sharp.
Good drive. Hey, you come away with points, you're always going to be happy, and I think that's a good start for Tyler Bray in the offense. Some good pass blocking on that whole drive, I thought.
Exactly. That's what you saw from the offensive line. They were protecting them, keeping them clean. That's what you love from the young offensive linemen working in there.
I like the volume in here too, guys. They'll take that Cody Parkey field goal. We'll take it. Preseason, regular season, postseason, doesn't matter. Soldier Field showing out. I think Parkey's feeling it a little bit. That one will bounce deep in over the end line for a touchback. Guys, you know, I think we should talk to right now the QB1. Let's talk to the face of the franchise. Mitch Trubisky, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. We're thrilled to talk to you. Mitch, you're almost done with one of the longest preseasons in Bears history. It's been a long time, man. So let me tell you, 10 days from now, you're going to Lambeau Field. You'll take on the Packers. Mitch, how do you feel?
Feel great. Feel great about where this team's at. We're very excited. Like you said, 10 more days to prepare, take care of business tonight, support all our guys. And it's always great to play at Soldier Field, but we're excited to get out there against the Packers on Sunday Night Football. So I know this team's very eager. We got a great work week coming up next, so we're just very excited things ahead.
Well, Mitch, Jim Miller here. Good to talk to you last week. I know you didn't get to play in the game, but it seemed like you were excited about the game planning and staying a day ahead is how you classified it. Could you break that down to all the Bears fans out there? What does staying a day ahead mean in that quarterback room?
Yeah, definitely. Whatever we're doing the next day in meetings and at practice, me and the quarterbacks are watching it on film the day before, going through all our plays, and watching that film from our opponent that week, just staying a day ahead, and so we're always prepared going into practice. So I like our new routine we got down with the quarterbacks. Chase and Tyler have been awesome in the quarterback room, so very excited for our preparation heading into next week.
Hey, what's going on, Mitch? It's Corey Wooten here. I wanted to know how it's been working with Coach Nagy. He's known as a QB guru. What's it been like working with him?
It is. He's
oh! There you go. They got to the crib, baby. That's what we like to see, right?
We love that.
That's what you love to see.
We love that. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Mitch, that's Dorian Grant. Tell us about it. What's it look like from your perspective, Mitch?
That touchdown?
Yeah, man.
It looks exciting. Hey, no matter what, we got the Bears fans come out on Thursday night. Last preseason game, you gotta love it.
Well, it was a cross dog blitz by Vic Fangio, and Dorian Grant just sat on the hitch route. Mitch steps in front of it. He takes it to the house for a touchdown. But really think the cross dog blitz inside really threw the quarterback off. So really well executed by the defense.
This was incredible. Yeah. You know, Mitch isn't playing tonight, but he did some impromptu play-by-play.
There you go.
Trubisky, you got a future in this, my friend.
I love it. I love it.
Mitch, we want to wish you a lot of luck, all right? We'll see you next week. We'll see you next Sunday. Go beat those Packers. The Bears are up 10-0. That's Mitch Trubisky, starting quarterback, Chicago Bears. More after this.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys having me.
All right, thanks a lot.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by PNC, the official bank of the Bears. Make today the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the scoring drive summary brought to you by Ford. It's a short one. Cliff's notes on that. 33-yard touchdown, interception, return. Doran Grant had a big interception off Lamar Jackson in the Hall of Fame game 4 weeks ago, and now he jumps this one, a no-doubt pick six the second he grabbed it. Cody Parkey is now 3 for 3. Touchback.
Yeah, here's the touchdown. I told you, cross dog blitz. There goes Timu. Here comes Iggy right here, this side. So it's a cross dog blitz. All right, he sees it. A.J. McCarron sees it. You see him. He quickly tries to get it out. He's baited into throwing there because that was a hard corner as Doran Grant rolled up to that side. They baited him into that interception right there. You see Grant. He already has his number on it. Tony Medlin, the equipment manager, hooking
give him
him
that
up.
game ball, baby.
It's one for the ages right there.
This is the kind of guy we want to see tonight, right? Doran Grant's been around. The Steelers, the Bills, the Giants, the Jags, the Bears. Looking to make a big play, Corey. That's exactly what he came out to do tonight.
Exactly. And he's had an impressive preseason. He's really showed out, both on the defensive end and special teams-wise, too.
Well, Jim, you said you want to see more turnovers from this defense this year.
And again, I credit Vic Fangio. He has a way to generate a lot of things with the defensive scheme, with cross-dog blitzes, defensive line stunts. You know, Corey can tell you all day all the things they can do because they've got the athletic defensive linemen to do it, and the front seven overall, I think, are athletic enough to do it.
I'm really excited about this year, just about the depth they have, and there's so many different blitz packages like you touched on. They can heat you up from so many different ways, disguise these coverages. So I'm excited to see week one.
Bills continue to run the ball. A nice game there, and what has been a very, very exciting start for the Bears. Already up 10-0. We got a field goal. We got a pick six. All kinds of action out there. And, you know, the pick six off A.J. McCarron, this is not some undrafted rookie who's trying to make the team. He's been around. Jim is very, very high football IQ.
No, you could see right away. He saw the inside blitz, took his eyes off the secondary. The Bears rotated basically to a cover two to that side. Almost became like a two trap is what it became. So that's normally what you're trained to do as a quarterback. Read the defensive line through the linebackers, through the safety. The linebackers caught his attention, and he made a big mistake throwing it out to his right, predetermining his read without looking at the secondary.
Jim and Kyle, he's a guy fighting for a starting spot out there. He has to make that read.
A veteran quarterback can't make that read.
Can't.
I mean, that's a huge mistake. As many years as he's been in the league, that mistake should not happen by A.J. McCarron.
You know, guys, this is why I like the last preseason game. We said it's the ultimate reality show, but it really is. You have these players trying to get a roster spot. They're the contestants. The coaches are the judges. And the winning is you get to play in the NFL. I mean, you can have your Amazing Race, your Survivor, Big Brother. This is the best reality show in television.
Oh, it really is. And you look at every year some of these undrafted guys that really flash in this game. And look at the big sack here by Walker. Look at him get funky real quick.
Oh!
Look at him.
Oh!
Look at him.
They are feeling it, Corey. Kavon Walker with another sack. He's in the backfield for a second time.
Oh, look at that move. That looked like Tommy Harris-esque. The jab-o-lay, Jim, from the three technique. Get him up the field. Get the arm over. Look here.
And he's taking advantage of the rookie.
And look at him run. Look at him run there. The big man can move. And get funky real quick, too.
Is that a two-step? Did you teach him that, Corey?
Not as good a dancer as me, but maybe I can teach him a little bit.
Is that true? Is that true, Corey?
Yes.
Because we have cameras here. We can prove it sometime in the second half.
We can. I'll show everybody.
It's almost like this defense smells blood right now, and it's only earlier in the first quarter, right? We got them on their heels. A.J. throws again, finds a receiver over the middle, flag down on the field. That's Nick O'Leary. We have an interesting situation with the officials tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You might notice around the field there's two referees wearing the white hat. Now, Brad Rogers is the referee right there. He is a field judge typically on a different crew. Tonight is something of an audition, as he calls holding on the D.
Penalty,
something of an audition to become a referee. It's John Hussey's crew, but that's Brad Rogers. It's kind of shadowing. It's like when you go to TGA Fridays and there's a waitress, there's one over her shoulder learning. There it is. There's the shadow waitress serving you your awesome blossom or whatever it might be. He's watching. And obviously, there's a big, big topic in officiating this year. It's one of the most important issues we have going into the football season. So we had a flag for holding there, guys, but obviously everyone's going to be watching the officials this year and this game as well. Bills continue to run the ball. That's a 3-yard gain off the right side.
That's a great tackle there by Timu. Yeah, he's a guy that can play at this position, at linebacker position. He improves their depth. He's all around the field. He can do it all. Special teams. He's a very valuable asset to this team.
And I think Savon Walker, again, in the backfield, forced the running back to redirect. This is what's different about this 3-4 defense. And, Corey, maybe you can talk about it. Most defenses two-gap, where they're just kind of slow playing it at the line of scrimmage. The Bears attack. They get upfield in Vic Fangio's 3-4.
Exactly. Penetration destroys everything. You saw them back up the guards there, and he stopped up that whole play there.
McCarron with a play fake, looking long. He's going to take a shot here. The coverage is there, but so is the flag. We have a flag down on the sideline. That's our same guy, Doran Grant, right there, the hero. They're going to Zay Jones, who can fly.
Pass interference, defense, number 35. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul.
They get Doran for pass interference.
Down.
That's a spot foul. They're going to move well downfield on this one.
And look at here. Look at the coverage on him. Double move. He stays with him the whole way. I don't know about that, Jim.
It's quick.
They got to let him play a little bit. He put his hand on his chest. They got to let them play a little bit.
They call those arm bars all the time. It drives me nuts, too, because I think it's difficult as it is for defensive players. But the arm bar across the chest, they're normally going to call that 9 out of 10 times. I'm with you. It's kind of incidental contact when you come down to it. They each are fighting for their position on the field.
Penalty was for 26 yards. It's the second time now they've gone deep to Zay Jones. Bills now move into Bears territory with a 1st and 10. McCarron in the shotgun as he's been for most of the night. Checks down underneath. Bears make the tackle. It's a nice gain for Buffalo. Guys, that's a gain of 7. And on the topic of officiating, you know, we're talking about the Vic Fangio defense, and you're talking attack, aggressive, relentless. With the new officiating rules, at least the way they've been called in the preseason, can you have that style as much as you would? And Corey, as a guy who made your living playing defense, what do you think about how they're making these new calls this year in the preseason?
So I think guys just have to play 100 miles an hour. And Jim, sometimes you're going to make these penalties when plays are happening. You just have to go 100 miles an hour, try to keep your technique the best you can, but sometimes you can't avoid some of these hits.
And I think you're going to see more defenders going low, because I'm with you. You can't have indecision as a defensive player out there. And unfortunately, a lot of the penalties for the new helmet rule, out of 60 penalties or 60 times it's been called, 51 have been on the defense. So defenders are going to be looking out. They could be taking a lot of money off the defensive guys' table.
We got another flag on the field. I think there's a sentiment, too, that it's maybe being overcalled in the preseason, so they're kind of trying it out,
Offside,
seeing how it
number
goes.
47 to the defense.
As the Bears get called offside. I still need to see them
down.
make a huge call in a huge game that is going to dictate somebody's season before I believe it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's what's really going to happen, but it's been frustrating this preseason. They say they're going to get figured out, but I guess we'll see week 1 if they met together and they came up with a clear plan.
It reminds me, I don't know if you remember the Giants game against Tennessee. Matthias Kiwanuka, when they created the strike zone on the quarterback. And Matthias didn't want to go in low on Vince Young. And then Vince Young scrambled around for a touchdown.
Exactly.
And you hope that doesn't happen, where players are just so indecisive that they're just not out there reacting, playing football.
It's Isaiah Irving with the tackle for the Bears. The Bills continue to drive, and that will be the end of the first quarter. It was an exciting one for the Chicago Bears. We see some of their stars on the sideline. Bears 10, Bills 0, live from Soldier Field. Back to the second quarter after this. Exciting first quarter here at Soldier Field, but this was the story. A.J. McCarron throws wide. Picked off by Doran Grant, who walks in for 6 points while we were talking to Mitch Trubisky, who absolutely loved it. That's what you want to see from Trubisky tonight. Traveling through the air with United Airlines, of course, it's time to look at Mitchell Trubisky's preseason stats. What do we think, guys? 11-18, 94, 1-1, got a little sweat, looked all right?
Yeah, I thought towards the end he really got a rapport, and really that inter-squad scrimmage out there in Denver. Really got a feel for Trey Burton, Allen Robinson, and you could see much more rhythm, and it's coming together offensively for the Chicago Bears.
And I think Jim, this offense wasn't built overnight. You know, I think it'll take some time to get things going. You know, I think it's a process.
You're right. There's a lot of new variables, and we'll see what the penalties on right here. Looks like the Bills are moving.
Brad Rogers will have the call.
Holding, offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains second down.
So they get Marshall Newhouse for holding. Guys, in the topic of the defense, the elephant in the room here is, of course, Roquan Smith. All right, we haven't seen him. We were able to talk to the coaching staff last week and indicated he wouldn't be playing tonight, but the question remained, if he gets that clean bill of health and he's good to go next week, we asked Coach Nagy, is he going to be out there against Green Bay with no game experience at all? He said yes. If Vic has him ready, he'll be out there. He's going to be the guy. How do we feel about Roquan, his very, very first NFL experience at Lambeau Field against Aaron Rodgers?
I feel pretty good. I think it really shores up the middle. Those are two speedy linebackers on the inside, and I think just for coverage reasons.
Buffalo.
Bills are going to call timeout. A lot more to unpack with Roquan Smith. We'll get Corey's thoughts, more of Jim's thoughts after this. Bears up 10-0. We'll step away. Join my man Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, and Lou Canellis for Bears Game Day Live, brought to you by Advocate Healthcare. Sunday mornings at 10:30 during the regular season on Fox 32 in Chicago. There are the guys, and there are the fans. We've gotten a show early tonight. Bears up 10-0, but let's resume the conversation about the big draft pick. We're talking about Roquan Smith. It seems to be trending towards him playing his first NFL game, first NFL action on any level, against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field. Jim, how do you feel?
I think they'll have to monitor his endurance, but he's got elite coverage ability. Nice sack right there.
He got another sack, guys. This defense has looked great tonight. This time it was Jonathan Mincy.
Jonathan Mincy coming off the edge. Go ahead, Corey. What do you see right here?
Right here, what I see is just a corner blitz. They slide the protection down, and what does he do? He doesn't let him get outside. Great defense by him. Great way to finish the sack.
Good angle by Mincy on that, because a lot of times the quarterbacks can juke you and get outside, but Mincy takes a good angle. But getting back to Roquan, I could see him in 42 nickel situations because of his elite coverage. They've got Jimmy Graham up there, and so you got to be careful, though. For me, it's going to be about his endurance. They probably will rotate him in and out, but I think if he can get 35, 40 snaps, but use him primarily in coverage when needed.
And I agree with Jim. I think you have to monitor him from a conditioning standpoint. He's missed some time, but he's been studying the playbook all offseason.
Right.
He understands his defense, and he's going to have Trevathan in there that's going to be the QB of the defense. So he has him in there to rely on if he needs any help with anything. But if he's healthy, I think they'll play him some plays, and we're going to see him flying around using that speed.
Looks like the Bills are going to punt. Here's the context for Roquan, though. The last competitive football game he played, it was the College Football National Championship game, and he was playing against an 18-year-old true freshman quarterback. So think about that. He'll go to an 18-year-old true freshman to Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. It's a tall task, but I like it, because why wait? Why would you drafted this guy to beat Aaron Rodgers? Let's do it.
He's got incredible ability. Like a lot of people were comparing him to Thomas Davis, who's a safety, who came out as a safety, ends up being a great linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. Some compare him to Lance Briggs and how he can fly to the football.
Offense. That penalty has declined. Remains 4th down.
But he does both well. He stops the run, but his coverage is elite. And we know Green Bay likes to pass the football.
They do.
So put the young buck out there and see what ground he can cover.
And as far as the Lance Briggs comparison, I love Lance. Lance, I think, ran in the mid-4.7s. This guy is low to mid-4.5s. He's Lance if Lance had a lot of horsepower, to put it that way. And I love Lance Briggs. We got another flag down. We've had a lot of laundry on the field tonight, as the punts appeared to go out of bounds short of the pylon. But let's find out what the situation is. Either way, guys, it's an exciting thing to think that Roquan's going to be out there against Aaron Rodgers. We look at Coach Tabor, can't be happy with the flag. It's on his guys.
Well, as always, you don't want to put too much expectation on a player. I go back to Brian Earl, like you said, I never wanted to be compared to the greats. I just want to kind of do my thing and evolve into the player I believe I can be.
During the kick, holding number 82 of the return team. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
And I love talking to Roquan last week, because he says, it kind of is what it is. This is Bears football. It's linebackers. I'll own it. Trust me.
You better own it, Jim. I love it. Bears up 10-0. We'll be right back.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by PNC, Verizon, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Advocate Healthcare.
Welcome back. The Bears are leading 10-0 over the Bills, about to start another drive on offense. Let me ask you a question, Jim. Where do you come out as a broadcaster in terms of checking Twitter during the broadcast? Where do you come out, Uncle Jimmy?
That would be an ultimate no-no.
Is that right?
You could do it on the breaks, yeah, absolutely. But, as the game's going, you shouldn't be checking your Twitter account.
So Jim,
I think there's a fine involved in that.
Does Jim have Twitter?
Yeah.
Do you have Twitter, Jim?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Are you on the World Wide Web, Jim?
Yes, I am.
You don't have a flip phone, do you?
I do have an AOL account, which could be, that could be bad news for you.
What's your screen name, Jim? Michigan State 15, right? QB 15. Oh, that's great. Well, I just committed the cardinal sin of checking Twitter during the broadcast. Yeah. It's funny, they're always so encouraging there. Most people say take a breath. I don't take breaths, guys. Neither does this Bears offense. And apparently neither do the officials, because we have another penalty down here. Meanwhile, the nicknames are pouring in for Tyler Bray. We're hearing Eat Bray Love, All Day Bray, which I like, All Bray Bray. And please continue to send any nicknames you have for Bears quarterback Tyler Bray, wearing the Punky QB's number 9. And we will read them on the air for you.
Holding offense, number 78.
All right, so we're going to move them back.
After distance to the goal, replay second down.
We're going to move the Bray attack back. It's looked very sharp, by the way. Started the game 5 for 5. Kind of like what you see from them, Jim.
And they've started backed up. We call this the coming out area, where you get, you're backed up against your own goal line, trying to come out. They've been successful the first couple times and now have to do it again. But yeah, I liked his command of the offense. He's been in this offense a long time. Andy Reid, when he was undrafted by Kansas City, and he feels comfortable. And you can tell his experience within this offense.
Bills need a spark. They've been pretty flat. I wonder if they send somebody here, but the Bears are going to run it.
Got the face mask there.
That's a face mask as Ryan Nall has the carry off the left side.
Yeah, good job by Nall. Really just bleed the play out, finding the hole to the outside all the way across from the shotgun snap.
Foul, face mask, defense number 30.
All right, we'll take it.
15-yard penalty out onto the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Yeah, there's Pitts right there.
Yep, grabbed it.
That's Lafayette Pitts. Hell of a name, but not a good play on that one. That was an easy call for the referee. As the Bears get out, Jim, just like you said, coming out zone.
Yeah, penalties can be a part of it too. Any way you can do it. And again, running the football is going to be paramount too. I know everybody thinks it's going to be fireworks every single play with this new offense, with all the new weapons. But when you go back to Kansas City, when Matt Nagy was the play caller, they led the NFL in rushing. Kareem Hunt was awesome in what he could do. They got speedy weapons, much like the Bears have. So look for that influence there, and they'll continue to pound the football, I think, all season long.
Bray steps up, avoids the sack for a moment, but then they bring him down in the backfield. That one didn't have much of a shot from the get-go. Tanner Vallejo brings him down. All right, so you mentioned Coach Nagy. Let's get into his first year. It's a very exciting time. I happen to think this is the most exciting time for Bears football in a decade. I really do. Reasonable expectations. Should we have them at this point? We've seen with all these young coaches around the league, the Sean McVay types. Do they have that type in Matt Nagy?
I believe so. I think the world of him. I know a lot of coaches that have been around him and think the world of him as well. And I do. I think he's got a great insight to the game. The players respond to him. I always judge a coach how players respond to it. Corey, I want to get your input on this. Because how you respond to a coaching style, and I think that effort is being displayed every single game I've seen. Another flag down on this play.
Taquan Mizell with a nice play, but we are on a record-setting pace for yellow flags. Guys, Jim, weren't you saying something that, I don't know, in the last preseason game, maybe they're a little loath to release the flags? Not this crew, my friend.
Yeah, well, we saw
personal foul, lowering the head to initiate contact. Number 29 of the defense. 15-yard penalty out on the run.
Saran Neal, the rookie safety.
Yeah, they had him, and they call him the Saran wrap, and that's helmet to helmet.
Right.
Listen, Corey, what do you think? That did not look egregious, certainly.
Yeah, it's tough. Some of these calls, they need to have a definitive answer, Jim. They need to come together, have a definitive answer, because this is going to be a long season if they don't get it figured out.
Yeah, I think guys at some point are just playing football. Both the receivers going down with the ball as well. That's tough for.
There goes Nall.
To adjust.
Ryan Nall with the shake. Oh, he almost shook him, Corey. He almost got him. Ryan Nall with a big gain. That's going to be 25 yards right down the middle. Saran Neal again with the tackle on the play, but look at Nall here, guys.
He had the big 69-yarder against Cincinnati. Just an inside zone run out of shotgun, wide open. Look at the hole. Nice job by the offensive line. Ooh, safety.
He would have just stuck that right foot in a little more. He would have came back the other way, been looking like Matt Forte.
But for a big back, over 230 pounds, he broke out some big runs at Oregon State when he played there. Already has a couple of the biggest runs here in preseason for the Chicago Bears.
We're in that beautiful Neil Anderson 35. I love it. He almost broke that one. Maybe they get all the ball again. This is going to be the Braymaker, though, over the middle. Ooh, and he got it. That is a heck of a catch over the middle. Daniel Brown. Let's take another look at Daniel Brown because he deserves it.
Yeah, really nice job by Bray dropping it over the linebacker. See the linebackers dropping deep there? Puts it right in the hole shot in front of the safety. Nice job of concentration. Daniel Brown's a former wide receiver in college. Made the conversion with the Ravens. Look at that hands behind.
And that's what you're seeing with a lot of these guys. The bigger receivers, they're going to tight end, and they're a nightmare matchup for these safeties and linebackers.
They can go up and get it and climb the ladder. Great job there by Daniel Brown.
Very, very deep tight end room, of course. But I feel there's a buzz in the stadium where I think Bray's going to try to stick it in the end zone. Oh! Just missed it. Tried to get it to our guy, Ben Broniker, the Harvard man, just out of reach. How about the tight ends on this team? Loaded.
I like them. And you can make a case for keeping 5, definitely. Certainly Shaheen's got the injury right now, but here's Ben Broniker. This is a touchdown he caught against Denver a couple weeks ago.
Just out of reach right there.
Just out of his reach. Just out of his reach. A little high by Bray on the throw. Would have been a tough catch. There's no doubt about it. But you can tell Broniker's like, I can make that play. He's telling himself that right now. That's the one I let get away, but just a little too high out of his reach.
This is a drive that started at their own 10, guys. We're on the 8th play here, and you can smell that end zone. Broke attack by Mizell in the backfield. He could go. No, he couldn't. They wrap him up. Flashy play for a 1-yard gain, but I like the effort from Mizell.
Really good effort to spin out of it. This goes to daylight, had penetration early, shows his hip flexibility to spin right out of it, get what he can get.
I get excited for this stuff, guys. I'm excited for this 3rd down. This game means everything to me. I'm telling you. I'm watching how they break the huddle here. I want a touchdown here for the Bears.
I would like to have seen a Kyle Brandt household on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah. I mean, you got the grill going. I don't know. You probably got party favors everywhere.
I'm watching Bob the Builder. You know, on a Sunday afternoon, we're watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Yeah. I want to see this one get into the clubhouse.
Yeah, this is a 6 call to the Kyle Brandt residence. Police are here again. Crowd noise.
Brandt's again, huh? Mr. Brandt, we told you. I know you love Ryan Nall, sir. We all do. But if you could just keep it down, the neighbors are complaining. Yes, but officer, did you see him in college? He was prolific. And speaking of prolific, look at the face fur on the Braymaker. That thing's incredible.
No shave November already, baby.
No, and it's August. That's when you're supposed to be, you know, lean and cool and everything. But I love it. That could be a whole new spawn of nicknames for Bray. Cody Parkey. He's had a heck of a night already. He's already made 1. He's put all his kickoffs in for touchbacks. This should be Jim Miller with the pitching wedge right off the green. Sure enough, just a kiss on it, and the Bears are rolling 13-0 as Chase Daniel looks at the Microsoft Surface. Bears up 13-0. We'll be back.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of your Chicago Bears. Hold true.
I love bringing it to you. The scoring drive summary brought to you by Ford. 10 plays, guys. A nice, beautiful drive, 85 yards, 542. And that man on your screen, a 23-yard field goal, his 2nd of the night as Cody Parkey gets ready to kick off. We've seen a lot of Bears kickoffs in this game, right? And I can see them all night. It's been that kind of night for the Bears. They've looked sharp.
That's the goal. Score every time you touch the football. And even if it's a field goal, it doesn't seem like much, but just keep the pressure on your opponent.
And where does he go? To the tight end. That's the common theme of this offense. They're going to get the tight ends involved a lot.
Yeah, both Brown and Broniker getting involved early in this matchup.
Here we go. Parkey going to uncork another one. And we are going to have a kick return by Ray McLeod. Ray, what do you say? Follows his blockers. He's got something, guys. He throws a mean stiff arm right there, and they bring him down.
Great tackle by Fowler there.
And no flags. That's good to see. Well, let's take a look at this young Bear fan right here. Wow, I still don't think he shaves today. He's got all that youthful exuberance about him.
Whoa.
That's it. Kyle Brandt. He goes from the Brandtville Field down to tailgate there at Soldier Field wearing the Bears colors. Wow, that's impressive, my friend.
Thank you. The first one was Christmas 1985. I'm holding up the Monsters of the Midway shirt. The second one was 2006, the NFC title game. Hanging out with my friend Butler, and I think I was hanging out with my friend Irish Whiskey, too, in the South Lot, as they sometimes do. But, yeah, that was really the spanning my Bears fanhood. I have to tell you guys, as the Bills start their next drive, I grew up a Bears fan. I had refrigerator Perry bed sheets. I had Walter Payton pajamas. This is a childhood dream for me, to be here with you guys, to be here in front of this field, in this stadium, around with these fans. This is an incredible, incredible day. This is now my favorite Soldier Field memory. It replaces the South Lot in 06. So I would turn to you guys. What is your favorite Soldier Field memory of your lifetime? Jim, you start.
I know for me it was 01 when we beat Jacksonville here in Soldier Field to win the division. That was big because they hadn't been won in quite some time, and it's Tom Coughlin team, and we beat them up pretty good.
Now, Jim, the Jacksonville game, now we'll get into this later, but the 2001 Bears team was my favorite team of all time. I love the 85 Bears, of course, but 01 I love. I believe the Jacksonville game, was that the Keith Traylor game?
Keith Traylor, bumbling, stumbling, rumbling.
Yep.
He gets an interception off Mark Brunell off a deflection, and he had what felt like a 700-yard return. The whole time he's returning it, Jerry Azuma is running behind him, clearly screaming to lateral the ball. And Traylor said, no, not a chance, and there's an amazing shot of him coming off field with his eyes bulging, asking for oxygen.
Keith had flashbacks. He was drafted as a linebacker in Denver, and then he ate his way into defensive tackle. He still felt he could run like a linebacker is what it was.
And on that play, he could. That is really one of the great moments of a great season, the Keith Traylor interception return. But, Corey, you come right out of college, right up the road in Northwestern. You have a fantastic rookie season as well. The Bears are in the playoffs. But don't let me bury the lead. What is your favorite Soldier Field memory, Corey?
So it has to be that playoff game we played against Seattle, and that was a tight one. We won that. And in my rookie year of all things, we're going into the NFC Championship, playing Green Bay, rivalry game with implications to go to the Super Bowl. I'm thinking, we're winning the Super Bowl my rookie year. How crazy that would have been if it turned out like that.
As the Bills are punting, I was at that game. I was at about 200 feet higher than we are right now. Unbelievable game. Didn't end the way we wanted, but a great season as the Bills punt. More of the Bears offense on the flip side, guys, and we want to hear your favorite Soldier Field memory. Tweet it at us, 13-0 Bears.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, the official healthcare provider of the Chicago Bears.
Select single-game Bears tickets are now available to cheer on the Monsters of the Midway right here at Soldier Field this season. All you got to do is visit chicagobears.com/tickets. Look at those fans having the time of their life. So we've gotten a good show out of this Bears offense tonight, guys. Gone up and down the field. They got 13 points. The touchdown came on defense, but I feel like they've moved the ball, and it's been fun to watch. It's been aggressive. As Taquan Mizell runs up the middle. Let's bring in, guys, a member of this great, great Bears defense. He's a second-year safety at University of Alabama. Eddie Jackson, good evening, my friend.
How you doing? How you doing?
We're doing excellent. This is Kyle Brandt. Eddie, a year ago, you're standing on that sideline. You're a rookie, you're a fourth-round pick. A year later, how do you feel, man? What have you learned?
Oh, man, it feels good, man. Just the chemistry of the game and, you know, just in adjusting to everything, the play calling and coming back and playing with the guys I played on defense the last year. Just having a new coach and the offensive style that was running now it's a very exciting year.
Hey, Eddie, what's going on, man? It's Corey Wooten.
How you doing?
Good, I'm doing good. With all the defensive helmet-to-helmet rules, how do you approach that as a safety? Does that change your style of play at all?
I mean, just a little, you know, but one thing we want to be, we want to be cautious of, just keeping our head out of the tackles. And I feel like that's what they're trying to eliminate, you know, by changing the rules. But it's still some iffy calls out there every now and then. But, I mean, we just got to control what we control and come in and practice that every day of tackling without your head in it.
Well, Eddie, Jim Miller here. I've been raving about just the continuity in the secondary this year to get Prince and obviously Fuller back and just you guys overall as a group together. Just how much does that mean to you guys in the back end of that secondary?
It means a lot. Like I said, man, the chemistry is one of the biggest things you can do on defense. I'm sorry.
Oh, check out the game. That's all right.
Yeah, but that's one of the biggest things you can have on defense, especially in the secondary. You know, coming back with those guys last year, we can kind of freestyle. You know, if we see something on film and, you know, Cal want to break on the ball, he'll tell me have him over the top. And that's one of the fun things about having guys that you play with before in your defense, especially in the secondary.
Well, Eddie, we talked to Mitch in the first quarter, and while we were talking to him, the Bears scored a touchdown on defense. So we expect a big play before the end of this interview, my friend. You're going to be our good luck charm. Well, let me ask you this. I know you guys have kind of a Georgia-Alabama thing going, but I want to know about Roquan. You've gotten a small taste of it. He showed up late, but he's there. He's getting healthy. What have you seen from Roquan Smith?
Oh man, Roquan is just a freak athlete, man, and he's a great guy off the field. You know what I mean? He does everything he needs to do the right way, and we respect him for it. You know, his mindset. He's not coming in here as a first-round guy. He's coming in here ready to work, and that's one thing you love about him. You know, he stayed humble with it. And, you know, you gotta love a guy like that.
And you got to love a guy like Eddie Jackson. Eddie, we're reeling off big plays while we're talking to you. I knew you could do it, my friend. Enjoy the night. We can't wait to watch you this season. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure to have him. How about him?
Talented player.
Glowing about Roquan.
Yeah.
Glowing.
Yep.
And, you know, for him last year, the impact he had, the Carolina game alone, the scoop and score, had the interception, and, you know, it wasn't too big for him. And I don't know whether that's playing at Alabama. You can clearly see this guy has confidence in himself as a safety. Nice to have that as the last line of defense.
Meanwhile, guys, the Brainmaker, number 9, has been doing what he's done all night, moving the ball. This one to Garrett Johnson on the outside. We had another big run by Nall, who came to play tonight, as he has for the whole preseason. What do we think? How do we feel right now about this game?
Well, you look at Bray, and you can tell he's comfortable with this system, just the way he commands the offense, the different checks. He feels extremely comfortable running this offense.
Yeah, it was a cutback run by Nall on the big one. And it's basically another shotgun run. You're probably going to see more of that from the Bears. Kansas City last year was about 70% in the shotgun, and I think that'll be something that continues. But it's amazing how you can run the football. And there's Chase Daniel looking on. He's got years of experience in this offense as well.
A lot of Nagy guys brought in, right?
Nice cutback. Watch this cutback.
Saquon. This guy came to play tonight, too. These two running backs, Mizell and Nall, both looked really spry, really determined. This was an incredible cutback. It's the 5th or 6th one he's had tonight, guys.
And he's got good hands, too. I think both of them do. Nall, for being a bigger guy, has nice soft hands. It wasn't even 2 games ago. Mizell, he led the team in receptions with 7, so he's got soft hands as well. And, again, the more you can do, that's what these guys are trying to show. And certainly Taquan, because he's got ability in the return game. He brings a multifaceted job requirements for what he can do, and I think for him, he's gutting it out and giving everything he can to try and make this football team.
Stoppage of play here, and the Bills are going to call a timeout. That will be their second timeout, leaving the 1 remaining. We're going to stay here. You know, there was a shot we just had of Mitch Trubisky on the sideline doing what he's been doing all night. It's clapping, cheering, supporting. We talked to him earlier in the game in the first quarter, and it wasn't a coincidence that we talked to him while the Bears defense was out on the field, because he's there when the offense is out there. He's got the headset in. He is very involved. He's soaking up the offense. You can tell he's taking this very seriously, and they've thrown a lot at him early. He's got a game in 10 days.
He respects his teammates, and I think his teammates respect him. And here he is. This
is what you want.
Yeah, he's engaged. He's cheering on his teammates. He's a team guy. I think that's what he's about. I think that's why the locker room, they really appreciate a guy like him. And for some guys, it's forced. I don't think it's not forced. And it certainly doesn't look fake for Mr. Trubisky, because he truly loves talking around and being around his teammates every single time he gets the opportunity to do so.
We got a first down. Gray hits that guy, Ben Broniker.
It's your guy, Jim.
Yeah. He was studying infectious diseases at Harvard, so he's been poisoning secondaries the whole preseason is what he's been doing. It's a little slide naked right there, and Broniker turns it up the field. Nice, easy catch and throw right there. Good job turning it up by Ben.
There is no vaccine for Ben Broniker. We are hitting the 2-minute warning, and this Bears offense is smooth, up 13-0. Back after this from Soldier Field.
This is Kyle Hendricks from the Chicago Cubs. Hey guys, good luck this season. Go Bears.
Hey fans, Javi Baez here, wishing a great season to the Chicago Bears. Go Bears.
How cool is that?
Yep.
And I don't mean the hat, I mean the Cubs. We're going to need those guys in October. Cubs, one of the best teams in baseball again this year. It makes me think Kyle Hendricks, Dartmouth guy, all right. Ivy Leaguer, Ben Broniker, Ivy Leaguer. This guy's one of the most fascinating people. I didn't know, Jim. Tell again the people what he was studying.
Yeah, he was studying the work. Oh, here goes Nall for a
Look
touchdown.
at the end zone.
Look at it.
He's in. Touchdown. Bear down. Nall for 6. 32-yard touchdown, number 35.
And he moves a lot faster than you'd think for over 230 pounds. About 235 is what he's sitting at. And again, this is his third big run of the preseason. Just a little, it's really a sweep to the outside. 38 sweep. Look, guys diving at him. Then he has the ability to hit the second gear. You don't think he's got that gear in him, but he does. Again, he ripped off even that. That was a bad angle by the safety right there.
And you look at the key block by Daniel Brown right there. He seals off the edge. Great block by him. He's able to free up that run for now.
How about Nall? Can we see this one again? This was beautiful. The blocking that you just singled out in the hole was absolutely gorgeous. Let's get the point after first, of course, my park. By the way, guys, take a commanding 20-0 lead. They're putting on a show tonight. This has been an electric preseason football game. Just an electric football game. There it is, right down the middle. Look at Nall.
Teammates happy for him. See the pull. See Hronis Grasu. He pulls the center. That's a good athletic center pulling on the outside. You mentioned Brown, and then obviously Nall. Get in the pay dirt area. Scoring.
Do your thing, Nall. My
Yep.
man, have a night. You've earned it. This is a guy who's worked his tail off the whole preseason, his whole life. I like having him this finale, the performance for him. And here we go. Scoring drive summary brought to you by Ford. 8 plays, 83 yards. And my man, Ryan Nall, 32-yard touchdown run, feeling it in the end zone, as he well should. Soldier Field is rocking right now, guys. The pride and joy of Illinois. How about it? I'm feeling it.
Well, I mean, for him to say him and Taquan that are competing, Nall certainly is practice squad eligible, but there's the difference is Mizell offers special teams help. Nall is getting indoctrinated into special teams because he has been so talented. Hey, again, the more you can do, can he make that transition? Can he run down on kickoffs? Can he be, say, the up back on the punt team? You know, he's got to figure those things out to really solidify a spot for himself on this football team.
Ray McLeod's going to let this one go. Guys, the Bears are absolutely rolling. Chicago Bears Network presents Inside the Bears, brought to you by Verizon. Every week, Fox 32 Chicago and the CW50, hosted by Anthony Spice Adams and Lauren Screed. And Inside the Bears is the most entertaining way to keep up with the Bears all year long. All year long. I love that show already. We got a field goal from their own 2. Look at the starting position. This is what jumps out about this. These are long drives. They're backed up their own field goal, touchdown, rolling. Can we start the opener tomorrow? Can we play Green Bay tomorrow, guys?
Long, sustained drives. Keep Aaron Rodgers off the field.
Yep. We can get that in Green Bay. A-OK, baby.
Yep.
A-OK. And in we pick right up where they left off. I feel like the Bears pass rush has been in the backfield all night, harassing McCarron. That was Kylie Fitz getting the hit on him. Coach Nagy, I know he's a perfectionist. I know he's going to find the things he's got to do better, but he's got to be happy right now.
Oh, yeah, with the young old linebackers there, he's trying to find some depth there. A guy like Kylie Fitz, Isaiah Irving have really flashed and stood out during camp.
Corey, you got to be happy right now. They're hitting the quarterback like you did.
Oh, I love it, love it. Love it when the big dogs get eaten.
All right, well, the big dogs are coming again. The Bills decide to run right up the middle. Pretty decent yardage there, guys. So we look at the defense, all right? We look at the guys who came. Obviously, Vic Fangio stays. Pretty cool with a new staff coming in. You don't always see that. What does that tell you about how Coach Nagy feels about Coach Fangio?
I think there's a lot of respect there. There definitely is. I mean, he's coached a long time in the NFL. You know, whether it was in Baltimore, all the work he did out there, not only in San Francisco, but even previously in Indianapolis. He is well respected around the league. And again, certain defenses that he deploys, I mean, that was one of the greatest out there. Patrick Willis and company, when those guys were rocking, safeties were Pro Bowlers pretty much every year. And you can see going from the 30th ranked defense 3 years ago. Got it.
We got a pick, guys.
John Timu.
That Timu, look at him. We had a deflection. I think he caught it clean. Take a look. What do you see?
Got the tip. Who was that up front?
Abdullah Anderson.
And then Timu comes in, scoops it up.
Yeah, that looked clean as a whistle to me, baby.
Look at the concentration. Yep, he got that. He got his body underneath that.
That's what you like to see. Abdullah, again, to have the awareness to get his hands up to disrupt the pass. Hey, just create an opportunity. You may not be able to get there and get the sack, but he didn't give up on the play. Nice job in the passing lane. Puts up his hands for Abdullah. Timu, always around the football, able to haul it in.
Timo. So now do they take a quick strike? You see over the turnover from the 30-yard line.
Too high.
Do they have a chuck it deep here?
Same
He
thing,
tried,
pass it
man.
down.
That was the fastball right there from the Braymaker. he wound that up.
He was cranking it up there at Tyron Walker. That's a big defensive lineman there, 6'4", over 300 pounds. He's able to get his hand up on the play.
And you see right here, the zooming in on Timo. A lot of depth from that linebacker position. Him, Kwiatkowski, they got a lot of guys that can come in there and play depending on the Roquan situation.
Yeah, they started camp light. You know, Trevathan was dealing with the hamstring. Roquan wasn't there, so Kwiatkowski and all those guys, John Anderson, Timo, they were getting probably more than their share of reps, and maybe you're starting to see that payoff in those dividends right now.
So they try to strike over the middle on first down after the turnover. Here they set up a screen out wide. Decent gate here. You know, guys, there's something that's very cool that's happened in this game. So Doran Grant scores a touchdown interception, right? He wears number 35. We also had Nall score a touchdown on offense. What number does he wear?
35.
35. I don't know if that's a first. I don't know when it happened, but I know it's cool. Is there a third 35? We can have to take a field goal.
I'm going to tell you the reasons why.
Tell me.
Because so many Bears are in the Hall of Fame, all those numbers are retired. There's only so many that they can give out. That is a true fact.
That is called the champagne problems as an organization. We got too many Hall of Famers. Let's give out multiple 35s. There they are. Oh, 78, 42. What can you pick? There's so many numbers left.
Most of any team in the NFL. Oh, he's stuck it through. Now Davis.
Of course, now Davis been around for a while. He picked up his feet through that hole. The Bears are pouring it on, guys. They're pouring. The Bills right now are on roller skates.
They really are. The offensive line, the big guys up front are doing a great job creating these lanes.
And I think you guys can both tell, too, Coach Nagy has talked about the pace of a game. This didn't happen in the Hall of Fame game. You know, the pace at the offense that they're playing right now in terms of getting in the huddle, getting the play, get lined up, check, do whatever you got to do up there, keep the clock or keep moving in terms of the pace. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense. They can't substitute as quickly, and I think ultimately it wears them down at the pace of offense the Bears are playing right now.
You know, Nagy said that if something were to happen to Tyler Bray tonight, that he would be the emergency quarterback, Matt Nagy himself. Now, we followed up and said, Coach, what's the scouting report on Nagy? And he said, weak arm, short and slow, but gritty. I pushed him for deceptively fast and a gym rat. He would not confirm nor deny. But that is the scouting report from Matt Nagy on Matt Nagy, and I think it's all right.
This is what I like to know. If he threw an interception, does he blame the play caller?
Of course you do. Don't they all? And the Bears continue to run it.
Nothing there.
Out wide is Niall Davis again. That's going to be a loss. You know, we know that Nagy's been around. I think he was on the New York Dragons. Oh yeah, baby. That's Swaggy Nagy. Look at him.
Look at that beard.
He's got a beard like Bray. No wonder Bray's wearing that beard. That's a young Nagy. That is your football coach.
Elbow brace there?
Is he throwing it past the 69? What kind are they doing in the
eligible?
league?
Tackle eligible.
Tackle eligible. Everything's eligible in that league, isn't it?
Yep.
But he's always been very self-deprecating about his career as a quarterback. It was very respectable. But he did put up some numbers. The facts are, guys. Jim.
He did at Delaware and in the Arena League.
The Blue Hens, 18,000 yards.
Ooh. Yeah.
374. Now that's in the Arena League where they play on a 20-yard field and they've got the dasher boards and everything like that. But a lot of fantastic players have been through there.
Hey, you look at Kurt Warner, a lot of guys started in that league. It's a fun brand of football, and obviously he loves the game. I think that says a lot about it. You know, there are some guys that just, hey, I won't go to Canada. I won't play in the Arena League when it's probably what they need to do, play more football. And clearly, Matt Nagy loves football.
He does. Oh! And we hit the post. Cody Park, you wanted to put a little exclamation point on this first half that has been all Bears. But it was post unkind. There is the Braymaker, the quarterback who has looked sharp. This has been a very electric preseason game number 5, guys. I'm fired up. Are you fired up?
I'm fired up. Love to see the guys flying around. Look at the sack right here.
And we got 2 quarters left as you see him take down McCarron. It has been all Bears. Halftime coming up. We are on fire at Soldier Field. Welcome back to Soldier Field. Families are out, the fans are out, and the Bears are up, way up, 20-0. How about the Miller Lite first half stats, guys? The one that jumps out, of course, 222 total yards to 62. The Bears are taking it to them. There's no other way to put it. This has been all Bears in the first half.
And what I've seen is the O-line up front. They've done a good job of creating these lanes, getting these running backs going, Jim.
Well, you've got balance. So, you know, a year ago, rushing the football was no problem. Passing the football was a problem. This, you know, here are these halftime stats. Got 116, a little over 100 rushing. Had some big runs, but the offensive line really doing a nice job. And they were backed up. They had to come out every time and sustain those drives to get points. So nice job on offense.
Jim, if you had to hand out a first-half MVP, who's just the guy who made a good impression on you?
I like what Tyler Bray's done. You know, again, I think his experience in the offense, he's distributed the ball to all the weapons, whether it's the tight ends, the running backs checking down, and the receivers.
Corey, who do you got?
Savon Walker, the big D lineman up front. He's been all over the place in the backfield in the run game. I love the move he made on that sack, and then the dance afterwards. Get jiggy with it, baby.
We got to see that dance again in the first half. Shout out to Ryan Nall, too, who's been awesome in this half, breaking off more big runs like he has this preseason. Obviously something to prove. And we're about to start this second half as the Metallica drops into Soldier Field here, guys. Bears will start with the ball. We had a funny thing that happened in the first half, too. Two different players with the same jersey number scored touchdowns. Someone has to get deep on this thing and see what happened. We'll get you in a second after kickoff, but I did not misspeak. It really happened. As the Bills kick off, this one is going to sail down for a touchback. Now, I would never promise you something like that without delivering. Guys, back me up. This really happened, all right? Early in the first half, Jordan Grant jumps in on the outside, runs it in for 6. Take note, he's wearing jersey number 35. It's pretty cool. They're patting him on the 35. They like him. Now, are my eyes going, or is that guy also wearing number 35? No, Mr. Ryan Nall.
They both are, but you see on the coach's sheet, it's 35-0, 35D. That's what they have on there. You see that all the time in preseason.
And Jim, tell us again why the Bears are cursed with this problem of two jersey numbers.
When you've got 28 Hall of Famers, there's only so many numbers you can pass out. The rest, hey, they're null and void. They can't be used again.
It's true, and the 35 was Neil Anderson, who was also a spectacular player.
Great player.
All kinds of guys wearing number 35. As the Bears start off with a run for a short loss. But guys, it has been a really exciting first half. And the fact is, we only have 2 quarters, Jim, until the opener. What jumps to mind?
Hey, they got already two turnovers on defense. You pointed out Grant on the interception, you know, and then obviously Timu gets another one. So you're scoring points, you're moving the football, defense is getting takeaways. That's Bears football. That's what you want at the end of the day.
And I think back-to-back games with young guys playing in there, playing well, performing, showing that they have a lot of depth on this team.
Kyle Davis runs out of bounds again. Let's give some credit to Tyler Bray, too. He was 12 of 16 that first half with 8 different receivers. And, guys, most importantly, we set out with a mission tonight to find a nickname for Tyler Bray.
I found one.
You found one, Jim.
It's called Punky Brayster.
Punky Brayster.
Oh, that's a good one.
Punky Bray. I think it was Hillbilly Jeff that tweeted that in. I am guilty of checking out Twitter now. Thanks to you, Kyle.
All right,
so
don't do it.
At least I'm coachable. But Punky Brayster was brought in. Punky QB, obviously Punky Brewster.
Same jersey number.
Yes.
Punky Brewster. Commandant Lassard was her adopted father in that show. But I'm telling you, the nicknames have flown in as Bray throws over the middle incomplete. I saw one that said, Bradle, 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 I made you out of Bray. We have the Bray Maker, of course. I've called Soldier Field Castle Brayskull. And here we go. You guys tell me the winner. The Bray Madness for you insect lovers. Bray Down Chicago Bears. Sugar Bray Leonard. Brayheart. Hope and Bray. It's a Bray new word and no brainer. Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
The Praying Mantis. That's a great one. That's my favorite by far.
All right, well, we punt here. No brainer is pretty good, guys. Don't sleep on no brainer. I still like 50 Shades of Bray. The Bills return it. That is Ray McLeod, who's been handling return duties for them tonight. Send us your Bray nicknames. Send them all. We'll take them. The Bears are up 20-0. That defense back out on the field. Having blast here at Soldier Field on a Thursday night.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Gatorade, Miller Lite, United Airlines, and your local Ford stores.
Welcome back to Soldier Field. The defense is back out there against A.J. McCarron and the Bills. Everybody has a different process, all right? Everybody has a different way of getting ready for the game. I was studying feverishly in my hotel room. Jim, what were you doing this afternoon?
I took a nap, Kyle.
Like I said, everybody has their way of preparing. But I'm sitting next to a 6'7", 300-pound demigod named Corey Wooten from the University of Northwestern. Corey, what were you doing to prepare this afternoon?
So I was in the gym.
Hold on a sec, Corey. We got Travaris Cadet, and we got a big run. He's obviously been in the gym, too. Travaris Cadet runs hard. Biggest play this Bears defense has given up all day, 44 yards, but good for the Bills. That's great for them. Corey, what were you doing?
So I was in the gym, in the hotel gym, and I'm pumping iron. I'm real into fitness. Took my pre-workout, you know, getting jacked.
You're the godfather of games,
The
right?
godfather of games.
That's
If you see my Instagram, you see a lot of videos flexing, you know, doing it all.
Okay.
So I'm in the gym, I'm pumping, and I see Ryan Pace in there.
You saw the GM of the Bears?
Yes, I see him curls. I see him doing the core, doing everything in there. I see him running for an hour. So he was in there getting these gains, and I was impressed. I said he looks like a safety. You know, I couldn't believe how put together he was for a GM. And I was like, all right, I might need to do some extra curls here.
All right, so I got questions. What kind of lifts is Pace doing?
Yep.
Is he doing the glamour stuff? Is he doing the core? I'm fascinated by this. I love a GM getting a lift in on game day.
So it was a little bit of beach body for all the Instagram fitness people out there, right? He was doing a little bit of the core, a little bit of the biceps, tries, the whole bit. He's impressive.
What, there was a gun show in there?
Yeah, there was a gun show. I mean, I had to do a couple extra reps because I was like, man, I can't have him.
Pace is put together as the snap nearly goes over McCarron's head. All right, so Jim, let's talk about Pace. We know he gets his lifts in, but he also gets the talent in. He's coming off an offseason where I think he was on what I call a heater. He was doing this, he was doing that. He changed the whole team. So many cool players brought in. What was your thought on how this Bears offseason went with Ryan Pace?
Well, first to re-sign key guys, Prince Amukamara, and then you look at Kyle Fuller to get him back and just how that all went down to keep the defense intact. And then when you look at the offensive weapons, once he started sitting down, talking to Coach Nagy, this is the pieces to the puzzle that I need. And I think he attacked it with a fever pitch, going out, getting Trey Burton, signing him. Allen Robinson, I know everybody's going to say, oh, he's coming off an injury. This guy is an acrobatic receiver, over 1,400 yards. He's going to be great in this offense as well. You get the speed in Taylor Gabriel because they couldn't beat man coverage quite a bit or stretch a defense a year ago. So I think all the pieces to the puzzle on offense are there as a support group for a young quarterback in Mitch Trubisky.
Looks like the Bills are going to attempt a field goal. My thought on Pace after this offseason was when Roquan didn't show up, there was all this question about who was right, how are they going to settle this, and there was a little bit of angst and anxiety amongst the fan base. I said after the offseason that Ryan Pace just had, where the fish were jumping into the boat and he was re-signing and bringing in players, he's earned my trust. I believe what he is doing. Philadelphia says trust the process. I say trust the process. He did an incredible offseason. I trust him moving forward. The Bills are on the board, 20-3. We'll be back with more.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of your Chicago Bears. Hold true.
There he is, one of the best backs in football. We're celebrating these running backs and how they're playing tonight, but the fact is, when the games start next week, it's going to be that man, number 24, and a lot of them, guys. I know we're all looking for Jordan Howard to have a huge year.
And I think they're really going to rely on him in the run game to get things going early on, to get Trubisky that confidence in the offense.
His attempts may go down. You saw the 276, but he may have more yardage when it's all said and done.
That one goes over the head of Niall Davis for a touchback. And Jordan's been busy, too. The things he's been up to, he spent his Sunday on the South Side donating over 200 backpacks with back-to-school essentials, other gifts to help the Croc-centered children prepare for their upcoming school year. It's part of the inaugural J. Howe Back-to-School Bash. That's great stuff, guys. It's about as good as it gets. Great player, great citizen. So much to like about Jordan Howard.
Oh, yeah. You can't help but root for him. He's an incredible guy. What he does in the community, it's all about giving back to the youth. And that's what he does.
You know, Jordan Howard, obviously, we're looking to have a big year. I respect so much his demeanor, too. He is not a guy who talks. If you look at the great running backs this organization has had, It's Gale Sayers, Walter, Matt Forte. These are guys who do all their talking with their play. They're not ostentatious. They're not there to talk to you about it. They're there to run by you and run over you.
Yeah, and to me, he's a guy who the more lathered up he gets, I mean, he can just wear down a defense. The Baltimore game a year ago is where I thought he really affected what is a great defensive front there in Baltimore, and he absolutely wore them out. And I mentioned the shotgun. He did a lot of shotgun at Indiana where he had a lot of inside zone, outside zone. That's going to be paramount in this offense because I think Nagy is going to cater the offense to that style of play. Whoa. Nice throw.
We got a flag down on the play. Bray's pass was complete to Daniel Brown, who made a great catch, maybe a little shaken off. He's going to walk off the field. Let's see what the flag is. Great throw by Bray, though.
Defense, number 44.
It's going to stand.
Always decline. Result of the play is a first down.
Threaded the needle on a corner route to Brown on this particular play. Sits in the pocket. Look at just nice touch up and over the linebacker. Again, the safety not quick enough to get there to break it up. Nice touch throw.
And where does he go to the tight end? That's the common theme in this game. They love the tight ends in this offense.
Tight ends are big. And think back to Philadelphia. Remember Brian Westbrook?
Sure.
I think that's how you can see Tariq Cohen being used and catching the ball out of the backfield.
Niall Davis lost the ball. It looked like it might have come out late.
Yeah, I thought Niall Davis was down. But like you said, that's why I've talked about this whole offseason. It's a tight end-centric offense. You think of Travis Kelce in Kansas City. L.J. Smith did it for so many years in Philadelphia. And then how they utilize their running backs. They're offset. They're in the eye. They can motion them out of the backfield. And I think that'll be an interesting play, too, to see how they utilize the backs, Howard and T. Cohen. We'll see if it looks like this is going to be challenged. I thought he was down.
Red flag is on the field. It looked like he was down to us. But Coach McDermott's going to take a look at it anyways. Down 20-3 in the third quarter. Why not? More Bills football after this, or rather Bears football, live from Soldier Field. We're having a blast.
On the field has been confirmed. Buffalo has been charged a timeout.
So they took a look at Niall Davis, and this one took about 5 seconds for them to review because the knee is down there. Ball's totally secure. Continued to rip it after he was down. But, guys, this was a no-brainer. Good thing for Niall Davis and the Bears.
Yeah, pretty obvious call right there. And you just wonder, hopefully, when you look at Colin Thompson, he looks like he gets rolled up right there at the tight end of the Chicago Bears. Have to see how he is. But clearly, knee was down, easy call. And obviously, Buffalo charged a timeout.
So we're seeing Niall Davis, and we're talking Jordan Howard, of course. He's going to be the workhorse. There's a thing in this league where the talk nationally, it's Le'Veon Bell, it's Todd Gurley. It's not a lot of Jordan Howard, despite the production, despite the effort, despite the highlights. And the reason that isn't there is we watched Niall Davis break a nice run for about 17, 18 yards, make it 15 rather. The reason it doesn't get the conversation is because the wins haven't been there. With the wins, Jordan Howard will get the respect.
Exactly. The more they win, the more respect he'll get. But because last year I thought he should have been on those top 100 lists.
Yeah.
He was left off. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's an absolute beast out there.
It's been him and Ezekiel Elliott really the first couple years.
Yep.
Certainly Kareem Hunt burst on the scene and Alvin Kamara, but these young running backs, and again, they don't really come at his size. Probably Ezekiel Elliott would be the guy that is the comparable to him, I would think. He's very impressive, has worked on his hands. I think he will be better. But I mentioned that pony backfield. It's going to be interesting how teams line up when both Cohen and him are in the backfield, because you could motion Cohen out and be a receiver. And here's some of the highlight reels of Jordan Howard a season ago. Look at that. You know, he's got the speed. Once there's a hole up front, he can shift to a second gear. He's got the wiggle to him for a bigger back. Kind of reminds me of Stephen Davis.
Yeah.
I remember Stephen Davis
Sure,
back
he
in
was
the day.
a load.
As a defensive lineman, that's a guy, Jordan Howard, that you don't want to go against. He's a guy that can run you over. He can put his foot in the ground, get upfield. He can do it all.
And just like that last touchdown, you don't think he's going to get the angle, and he gets the angle every time on these DBs and linebackers and turns it upfield.
He's a hell of a runner. He's not going to dance. He's not going to jump into the stands. He does his job. He does it well. And look at this. We have immortals, Peyton and Sayers, fastest to 2,000 career rushing yards. And there's Jordan Howard who got there faster than either of those legends. That speaks for itself, guys.
Yeah, it's impressive. And he was playing with a banged-up shoulder a year ago, too. He gutted it out. He's a tough guy who can play through the bumps and bruises as well. So we'll see if it continues. I think he is going to thrive in this offense because I do think they want to run the football first. So as much as we get enamored with the passing game, don't forget about number 24. He's a good one.
If you believe in the comparisons, and I do, and you want to look at last year's Chiefs, it's Kareem Hunt who led the league in rushing as a rookie drafted in the 4th round, as we see Tanner Gentry make the catch. He is going to be the Kareem Hunt for this Bears offense, and I think he's in for a massive season.
Without a doubt. And you look at the successful offenses. What does it start with? A great running game, because it opens up that play action. And they have an abundance of receivers and tight ends that can play in this game.
And it's going to put defenses in a bind. The RPOs, everything that causes hesitation. So, again, he may have less carries, but I think in the 4th quarter, he's going to have huge chunks of yardage in terms of explosive plays, whether they're plus 20 runs, plus 40 runs. I think all those will factor in where he gets more yardage here in 2018.
Well, now Davis is getting a heavy workload. He runs the corner. We're going to have 1st and goal for the Bears, ladies and gentlemen. The offense does not have a touchdown yet. They're looking for one here. Niall Davis turned that corner nice.
They've run the sweep 2 or 3 times. The center doesn't have to sweep because there's a man, or doesn't have to pull because there's a man on him. Now it's just about getting the edge blocking and turning it upfield.
And look at Thompson here. He secures the edge again, and Buffalo's had trouble all day securing that edge.
Well, they say don't allow the running back to break to the outside.
Keep your outside arm free, and they're not doing that.
That's right. They also say, don't let Tyler Bray get hot, guys.
You can't. All day Bray, baby.
Should correct myself. Nall did have a long touchdown, and now Davis is going to have to get one here, but they stuff him up. 1st and goal. We got a couple more shots of this thing. All day Bray. I like it, Corey. I know he's taking some shots in the back of the end zone. I want to see him land one of these.
And you see Nall right here. He lined up at fullback on that last play, so it's interesting. They're getting a look at him at fullback to see if he can provide some value there.
And again, Sherman was the fullback down there in Kansas City. I like the fullback position. I think it still offers a lot of merits in even the modern day era of football. It's just, these are the areas where really the fruits of the labor benefit of it. Down in goal line, short yardage situations where you really got to grind it for 1 or 2 yards.
Nall and Davis lined up behind Bray. It's going to be Davis. Turns the corner, stuffed again, guys. He got a yard. We are going to be looking at a 3rd and goal from the doorstep.
And look at Nall again. He's the lead blocker, knocking guys back. Here we're going to take a look at him. Look at him come through. Eye on the prize, eye on the linebacker, drives him back.
The only problem here for Nall is we're too close to the end zone. He specializes in the 30, 40, and 50-yard touchdowns. But here we go. This is the 11th play of the drive. I feel like getting to my feet right now, guys. 3rd and goal.
What do you want? You want to smash mouth it again? Or
I want to smash mouth it again. You know what, Jim? If they don't get it, I want them to do it a 4th time. But I don't call the plays in these parts. We're going to go to Davis, and did he get it? It looked like he did. Touchdown! Bear down! That's what I'm talking about. Power football.
Goal line 32 lead to the weak side. Bears pounded in. Ooh, get a little roughing here after.
Good. We got some chatter. Somebody on the Bills should start chattering. They're getting rolled right now. 26-3. You see the Niall Davis touchdown.
Look at again who was the lead blocker.
No, he does a good kick-out block right there. This creates the crease for Niall Davis to blow it up in there.
Great double team too from Rasul.
Yeah, Jay Howe
Yeah.
loves it. Playing the role of official. He knew it. 6 points, Niall Davis. Great drive for him. And I don't mind that chippiness in the end zone, guys. Don't mind it at all. That was our guy, Rashad Coward, with a little something to say.
Yeah.
Ironically named Rashad Coward. You walk around with that name and work as hard as you do, you have my respect, my friend.
Showing that he's no coward.
Not at all. Extra point is good. 27-3, Bears fans. As we see Niall Davis power through the arms and the helmets for 6 points. And look at it. Mitch loves it. We love it. Bears fans love it. Chicago's rolling. Let's look at that scoring drive, the forward scoring drive. It was a long one, guys. 6.5 minutes, 11 plays, 75 yards, capped off by that Niall Davis gritty 1 yard run up the middle. It got me a little fired up, right? He decided he was not going to be denied.
140 yards rushing on the night for the Chicago Bears. They've broken off some pretty big ones, so we'll see now what the defense can do.
They're setting the tone. The offensive line is doing a great job. The tight ends, they're really setting the tone in this game.
And so is Cody Parkey, who's been the powder keg tonight. Another touchback. But guys, I think you should watch Bears Game Night Live. It's brought to you by IGS Energy every Sunday night during the regular season. You be sure to catch the special season preview edition. It is Sunday. It is September 2nd. Look at the guys having a blast. You don't want to miss that. And I know they're having a blast tonight, too, because the Bears are beating the brakes off the Bills right now, guys.
I think defensively they've done a good job. A.J. McCarron's 5 of 16 on the night. He's missed his last 8 pass attempts, a couple of turnovers that we mentioned. So it's been a rough night for A.J. McCarron. Defense doing a good job by Chicago.
And let's see if they get that pass rush going again. A.J. McCarron is out. And sure enough, they do. McCarron's going to get out the gate, though, and get down close to a first round. But, guys, let's talk to one of our favorite players in all of football, the pride of North Carolina A&T and the Chicago Bears, the great Tariq Cohen. What's up, Tariq?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, we are so fired up to have you. It's been a great night. Now, Tariq, we watch you all over the field the second you step onto the field, and we were watching your pregame routine where you're showing all the talent. I'm talking one-handed catches, just showing off. Is this for the fans? Does this get you in game mode? Take us through this, Tariq. Why are you doing this?
It's really just it's just my natural habit, you know, catching the ball. You know, you got to get some catches in before the game. You know, just me and Ant just out there having fun, you know, just getting ready to support our guys.
Tariq, what's going on, man? It's Corey Wooten. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So Coach Nagy over in Kansas City, he had a guy like Tyreek Hill. He comes here with this offense. How excited are you for your role in this offense?
I'm very excited, you know, to see the things that the Kansas City offense did last year. You know, it has us very optimistic, you know, about spreading the ball around and just, you know, options for all of us to make plays and just, you know, to get yards, get touchdowns, you know, and spread the wealth.
Well, for Tariq, for you, because you can do so many different things and how you're going to be utilized. How about that, going in, learning a new offense, and you're probably going to play numerous positions. I know they're probably keeping you as a secret weapon here in the preseason. We haven't seen a lot, but certainly you'll be doing a lot on game days.
Yeah, I'm ready, you know, ready to be that versatile guy, you know, out everywhere, split out wide, inside, and in the backfield. So I'm just, you know, excited. You know, I can't wait till the preseason over so I can finally get to play.
You said it, Tariq. Nobody is more excited than Bears fans to see you, my friend. You go have a big year. We are all rooting for you. Thank you very much for the time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. One of the most exciting players in all of football, guys. Unbelievable. Courtesy of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, why don't we take a look at Jordan Howard's preseason rushing stats, guys? Rather, Tariq Cohen's. We look at Howard, we look at Cohen. They're together in the same backfield. But let's look at Tariq right now. This is last year, 2017 regular season, the breakout year for him. What was it like? You guys are here in Chicago covering the team, very close to the vibe. What was the Tariq Cohen experience like?
It's electric. I mean, you certainly, when he's on the field, you have to be cognizant of where he's at. You know, punt returns, his ability to kick return, shoot. He's throwing footballs for touchdowns on 438 passes. He's a very gifted athlete and pretty much electrifying every time he touches the football.
Meanwhile, A.J. McCarron just uncorked a deep pass. It was broken up, incomplete, a big collision. Everybody seems to be all right. Corey, tell me about the Tariq Cohen experience.
Oh, it was incredible seeing him last year, and we haven't seen a guy that electric since Devin Hester.
You're right.
And the thing is, the way they're going to use him this year, Jim touched on, it's going to be a little bit of a secret. In week 1, we'll see how they'll use him in this scheme. I'm excited to see it.
And I just give more credit to the front office. Finding a weapon like that at North Carolina A&T, you said it, Jim. I think it is only a matter of time before we see him throw a pass this year, especially with someone as creative as Coach Nagy.
Yeah, he's going to line up outside the numbers. He'll be from the slot. I think they'll motion him as a wide receiver. The reason why I brought up 21 personnel, it's 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Imagine if they put Tariq and Howard in the backfield. They motion him out. A defense, how do they look at it? Is that 3 wides?
Yeah.
They can't sub in the third DB at that point. They're going to be in regular defense, and this guy's just going to be flying around in space, making plays against linebackers and safeties that can't cover.
It's a nightmare matchup for these defenses.
So, guys, let me give you who you got. You can only pick one. If you want a position player to throw a big pass on a trick play, do you want Tariq Cohen or do you want Trey Burton? Who's going to do it?
I'm going to say Tariq Cohen.
You're going to say Tariq Cohen, Jim.
Hey, Burton's a former quarterback, all right? But I'm going to tell you what, that throw by Tariq Cohen, that was an excellent throw. He's spinning it to win it right there, and he threaded it with a tight spiral.
He looked like Uncle Rico throwing that thing.
Now, I've said this to Trey Burton. I know it was on a big stage, and I know it was a Super Bowl. My 4-year-old son could have thrown that pass to Nick Foles. He was so open.
That's what I'm saying. Tariq Cohen went downfield with it.
Yeah.
You're right. It was incredible. It was right on the money. We have a flag, and we have a Bill who is shaken up on the play. Let's get the call.
During the kick, holding, number 32 of the return team, half the distance to the goal, and first down.
You go from the official's call to something way more exhilarating. The Tariq Cohen experience. Drink this in, Chicagoland. This is a guy in our program, Good Morning Football, we call Little Smokey, because he heats up fast, he's likable, he's little, and he gets this thing going. This was the play of the year for the Bears, if you ask me.
Incredible.
This return against San Francisco, wearing that 29 reminds me of Dennis Gentry. Tariq Cohen.
Look at the amount of tackles he breaks. He is excited.
The change of direction laterally and how he can get vertically up the field, I mean, it's impressive. He is a jitterbug of a player and hard to bring down.
It's fun, too, with him and Howard, right?
Oh,
because there's a different skill sets and there's really different personalities. It is like a buddy cop movie that we have in the Bears backfield this year, and I love it.
Did you see the size difference between him and Kyle Long next to each other?
Well, it's funny because it is. Between Tariq and Jordan Howard, it's like the odd couple. One's like outgoing.
Look at Kyle's arms compared to his, man.
Let's bring your kid to work day. I love it. And I say that with respect. Oh, Kyle looks like Paul Bunyan. He's never looked bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving this. Kyle enjoying refreshments as always. We have Big Me and Mini Me. Those two need a sitcom. Those two.
I know, right?
I like J-How and everything, but Kyle Long and Tariq Cohen. Guys, you got to give us more shots of those two.
Yeah.
As Niall Davis continues to go to work, as he has all night, he's got a touchdown, runs for a gain of 2 there. The fans are thirsting for more Long and Cohen together, the duo we didn't know we needed. Give me the shot. I'm producing here. No, but the idea that those two guys, look, the fans are saying, oh, that incredible shot of Kyle Long and Tariq Cohen, the size difference was Ripley's, believe it or not. The kid in the Clemson hat wants it. But it's been Braves night all night. Running this. There we go.
Yep.
There we go. And they look all business. They don't know we're talking about them. Jim, was there someone on those teams, maybe a Keith Traylor and maybe one of the, who would have been sitting on your team that could have been the biggest difference?
Ted Washington was literally the biggest man I've ever played with. I mean, he was, believe it or not, he was a gourmet chef. Ted was listed in the roster in the book at 6'5", and they modestly put him at 340. He was 400 pounds.
Yes,
I'm just telling you.
four bills.
Yeah, easily 4 bills. And he would get upset. Guys would go in there and watch him weigh in to see if he was going to get fined. Ironically, he never got fined for being overweight because he was a pretty darn good football player.
What about James Big Cat Williams, another big guy?
Oh, we can talk all day about Big Cat. I love Big Cat.
James, I'll tell you what, he was the leader of our offense. What a great player, what a great teammate, and tough, hard-nosed player. And again, he's another defensive lineman converted to offensive line. What a great play. He went against Reggie White twice a year his whole career, never gave up 1 sack.
Wow, that's impressive.
Didn't give up 1 sack against Reggie White.
And Big Cat will put that hand up there and block a field goal, too. He had a walk-off field goal block once as Ray McLeod makes a nice return after a Bears punt. Gentlemen, let's take a look at some of the quarterback questions we've received, brought to you by Verizon. So we asked, who is your favorite Bears player of all time? That's the question on the field. You guys go ahead and answer. I'll follow up. Corey, who's your favorite Bears player of all time? You get in there.
Brian Urlacher. I played with him. Just an incredible human being. His intelligence on the field. He used to call the plays before they happened. I've never played with a player that had that much intelligence.
Well, Kyle, I played the position growing up that you did, running back, and it's got to be Walter Payton. I bought a pair of kangaroos just because of Walter Payton. So,
and you put a penny in them or a Tic Tac?
I had the high top ruse. I'll tell you what, I was high stepping, going over the top, getting over the goal line.
I wish they still put those ruse out, man. I really did. But you mentioned Urlacher. The newly Hall of Famer. This is the 01 version of it. The young one out of New Mexico. Jim, you know this man. Corey, you know this man.
Oh, man, just super impressive. He could run like a deer. I mean, it was a nightmare matchup. He's in the backfield. You name it, he did it all.
6'4", 250 yards. I played in that game where he hawked Michael Vick.
See ya. Bye, Brian.
And that game, he returned that as 82 yards, or 92 yards, excuse me, for a touchdown. What a great player. What a Hall of Famer, first ballot.
And, well, Roquan Smith, welcome to the Bears. These are your godfathers now. Urlacher, Samurai Mike, Butkus, Bill George, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. We cannot get enough 01 Brian Urlacher footage. Jim, it was your team. So many moments, the Vic moment for sure, because there was a score to settle, 2 skyrocketing stars with a lot to say, and Brian got his number that day.
Every day he did something amazing where guys would just be shaking their head. In practice, you'd have to say, hey, could you rewind that play, see what he just did? And I remember when he filled in for Barry Minner, and I bring this up, Dale Lindsey was the linebackers coach at that time. They came out of the defensive meeting room, and everybody was just shaking their head because literally his first game, he got double-digit tackles, was all over the football field, and the rest is history, as they say.
You know, we look at Roquan, it's a lot to live up to, of course, but he certainly has the talent, he certainly has the speed. A lot to live up to for Urlacher, and certainly that 01 season, I've said it before, it's my favorite Bears team in history. The moment I knew they had something and that Urlacher was something was the game at Washington. There was a fake field goal where Brad Maynard hit Urlacher for a touchdown. This is a middle linebacker now, running downfield for a touchdown. An unbelievable play, and I know you have a lot to say on it, Jim, but we have more questions. People have a lot of questions to ask. Who is the most interesting player this year to you guys on the Chicago Bears roster? Jim, that's an open-ended question. What do you think?
I think everybody, of course, is going to focus on Mitchell Trubisky, but to me, the most interesting guy, Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller.
Love this guy.
The 4th-round draft pick. I think he is going to be a playmaker at the end of, just another weapon for Mitchell Trubisky to choose from. We talked about the free agent signings. I think Anthony Miller is a fantastic draft pick by Ryan Pace.
And I'm going to go in the wide receiver position. And here's a look at him.
Let's take a drink of this first.
Obviously, he's making all kinds of plays at Memphis. I saw him, would have been a year ago, making plays against, he was a one-man band against UCLA. He destroyed that football team with big play after big play. You just see Jim Mora thinking to himself, this guy's going to get me fired.
You're right.
He was thinking.
And he reminds me a lot of Antonio Brown, a young Antonio Brown.
And he's heard that, and he's tweeted, I'm not the next AB, I am the first me. Ooh. All you need to know about him, his idol is Steve Smith. He loves Steve Smith. He plays with that tenacity. We got the end of the quarter. The Bears are rolling. 4th quarter coming up. Soldier Field.
How you doing? I'm Nicky Delmonico. This is Tim Anderson. Just want to wish the Chicago Bears, especially some Georgia Bulldogs, Roquan Smith, and my boy Wims, good luck and roll tide. Go Bears, baby. Go Bears.
Roll Tide, go Bears. We'll take it. We love getting that from the White Sox, the Southsiders, guys. As we have the Bills knocking on the door here. Look at the crowd. Preseason game number 5 showing up, supporting. I see Elmhurst football jerseys out there. A lot of people out here tonight as we have a 1st and goal for Buffalo. See if the Bears can't turn them away. Ford with the carry up the middle. So, Corey, we got the question, who's the most interesting Chicago Bear this year? You didn't get a chance to answer it before the commercial, so what do you think?
Has to be wide receiver Allen Robinson. You look at a year ago, the Bears didn't have a true number one. And Jim and Kyle, I've seen this guy in practice. He is impressive. He's huge. He has speed. I can't tell that he's coming back from an ACL injury. And you look at a couple years ago in Jacksonville, what he did, he put up some supreme numbers there.
He's impressive. And you look at him, he was a coverage dictator even at Penn State. Polished route runner, was in kind of a pro-style offense under Bill O'Brien. But you can't go one-on-one on him. I mean, that's why I mean you have to do, you have to have a safety over the top. That's what I mean by a coverage dictator, which is going to open up everything else. From Trey Burton to the other receivers will have opportunities because that man alone has made this team better.
And I think Allen Robinson has a huge opportunity. You look at the history of this Bears franchise, I don't think that there is a face of the wide receiver position. What do I mean by that? You got the linebackers, you have the tight ends, these great running backs. And full respect, there's been some fantastic wide receivers here, and Curtis Conway and Marty Booker and a lot of fantastic players. I don't think that there is a guy on the Bears Rushmore of wide receiver, the one who is the standard. And Allen Robinson, with his talent and his deal and this timing, that should be his goal, to be the best Bears wide receiver ever.
And you hit the nail on the head. I think he can be. He has the size, he has the speed, he has all the intangibles. He seems like he's back from that injury, and this offensive scheme is impressive. And what he can do for a number one receiver, it's going to be lights out with him this year. I'm excited.
Yeah, very mature young man, too. Hopefully nothing serious for Kasim Edebali, who's being helped off the field right now.
Shaken up. They checked him out. They're getting him off the field, favoring that right leg. We'll try to get you an update on that. Thinking about Kasim Edebali as the Bears are backed up to the 5-yard line. You said it, Corey, to begin the show. You said Allen Robinson is the guy that we need to go to early in that Packers game. They need to establish him early. There's an intrigue with him, and there's an enigma because he fought through the injury. We've seen him play some great football in this league, but it hasn't been for a long time. So it would be a huge sigh of relief and a breath of excitement to get him going early.
Oh, without a doubt. And if they do, the Bears got a steal in him this offseason.
McCarron's going to try to run this one in, and he's going to get it. A.J. McCarron, an impromptu run up the middle, makes a little juke at the goal line. The Bills get in the end zone, make it 27-9, extra point coming.
Well, good coverage by the Bears. I mentioned McCarron's only 5 of 18 out of his pass. He had a passer rating of 0. And again, tough. He can't find anywhere to throw the football. Likes to tuck it down, rush it himself, makes a good enough move to get the football across the goal line.
And the Bills, guys, are going to go for 2. We like this because why not? It's August 30th. You're down 27-9. Everybody loves 2-point conversions. As you see Edebali being taken off on the cart, we will try to update you on his status throughout the broadcast. In the meantime, McCarron back in the shotgun after the touchdown run. Bears trying to keep them out of 2-point conversion. He's looking to throw. He throws to the corner, and it is incomplete. No flags. Bears turn him away, 27-9. We are going to step away for a minute here, guys. We get a great shot there of the Ferris wheel. Bears defense going round and round and round. 27-9 Bears.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, Verizon, PNC, and Gatorade.
Bill set to kick off after an A.J. McCarron rushing touchdown. This is Stephen Hauschka teeing it up here at Soldier Field. What a beautiful shot on a beautiful night of the best city in the world, Chicago, Illinois. John Franklin back deep to return for the Bears. Corey, what can you tell us about John Franklin?
John Franklin, last chance you, was a quarterback, moved over to the other side of the ball. So I want to see what he can do.
Is he going to get a shot? He's going to, nope, he's going to let this one go. This one goes for a touchback. but it has been the Bears defense, these monsters of the Midway, that's put on a show, guys.
I'll tell you what, Kyle, they've been pesky. How about Savon Walker right there, forcing McCarron out of the pocket. Then Doran Grant steps in front of it, pick 6. Then the corner blitz there, Jonathan Mincy, he comes up with the big play in the sack. There's Savon Walker again. He even gets up and does a little dance there. And then the final interception. Abdullah Anderson knocks it down. John Timu around the football. Bears get 2 turnovers on the night. They've been pesky.
They've been flying around all day. The past 2 weeks, like I've said, they've been impressive, showcasing that they have a lot of depth on this defensive side.
They've allowed 1 play of over 20 yards tonight, guys. But, you know, we love Tariq Cohen, and part of the thing that makes him such a dangerous weapon is his vision, his way to see the field. Well, that vision betrayed him during our interview because he didn't see this at all. You are looking at Charles Leno Jr. looking at us and nodding as Tariq is just locked in. Leno doing some classic video bombs, and I say this with full respect. I think Charles Leno is funnier than Jay Leno. That's my hot take. You can tweet it out. I think he is.
There's always that one teammate, right? When I played, it was Spice Adams. He was the guy that did stuff like that. Everybody knows him. The personality. Leno seems like that same type.
Jim, who's your guy? Who is the Leno? Who is the Spice of your teams?
Well, we had a ton of guys. Certainly Olin Kreutz can keep you on your toes.
I played with him too.
Yep. Corey knows that. So you better watch. You better watch yourself in the cold tub, in the steam room, everything, because Olin Kreutz was always looking to pull a prank on somebody.
Yep. And there's Tariq. I don't know if he has any idea that even happened. He can see tacklers from behind his head, but he couldn't see one of his linemen.
He was locked in, focused.
You know what? It's true. He was performing. He was performing, absolutely. And so has this Bears offense. We said tonight it was going to be a lot of Tyler Bray. He has gone the distance, and he has been really good. He spread the ball around a whole bunch of different receivers. He's hit a little deep one, hit over the middle. He's 16 of 21 as we have a stoppage of play. I know we're trying to run down, and we found him. Shouldn't we talk to Prince Amukamara right now? Because he's one of the most exciting players and personalities on this Bears team in 2018. Prince, good evening. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Prince, the last time I saw you, it was at a black tie affair, and you were in a tuxedo with tails, my friend. You have style for days. Should this season end in Atlanta with the Super Bowl for Chicago Bears, will you wear the tails to the Super Bowl?
No, not at all. No, that's too much. I'll just wear a regular suit, whatever's required. And yeah, I'm not going to do too much.
Hey, Prince, it's Corey Wooten here, and I got a question for you. So this is year 2 in Vic Fangio's scheme. What do you like about his team and all the continuity back again this year?
Yeah, Coach Vic is probably one of the smartest DCs, defensive coordinators that I've ever been around. He knows when to call the right plays, and he definitely puts us defensive players in a great position to make plays. And that was one of my reasons for coming back. And yeah, I'm glad he's back. When he signed back, I was very excited, but definitely could not express that at the time.
Well, Prince, Jim Miller here. I know you've gone out and said, hey, I want to get 10 interceptions. And hey, the past couple weeks, I've seen this defense turn over the football. 2 turnovers tonight. And it almost looked like Vic Fangio almost schemed A.J. McCarron into that Doran Grant interception for a touchdown. Maybe just break that down, how maybe Vic Fangio can put you in good positions, because that clearly, at least for me, that's what it looked like on that play.
Yeah, Coach Fangio is very detailed, meaning he breaks offensive down to a T. And he's going to give us the tendencies by down and distance and by formations. And again, at the end of the day, it's our opportunity, it's our decision to go out there and execute that.
Prince, thank you for your time. You go get those 10 picks, my man.
Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, meanwhile, one of those picks went to Breon Borders of the Buffalo Bills. Bray was picked off here on the near sideline, attempting a deep out route. Jim, why don't we take a look at it? In fact, hold that thought. We're going to go back to this defense now, who had a quick turnaround after the turnover. Still nursing that 27-9 lead, and they've played really good all night. I feel like they've lived in the backfield. Let's see if they can finish this thing out. McCarron throws short. Let's take a look at the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like a simple throw to the outside by Tyler Bray. Leads his receiver just a little bit too much. That's a DeMarcus Ayers. I think he expected him to go more towards the sideline as he's throwing it behind, and obviously the Buffalo defender able to undercut it coming to the outside.
And that's on Ayers. Once it hits your hands, Jim, you got to catch the ball.
And I think just again, how the angle that you've got to come out of your break. I think the anticipation by Tyler Bray, he was expecting a better angle out of the break on those outbreaking routes.
So the defense goes back to work, and so do we on the conversation we've been having for the last half hour or so. The most interesting Chicago Bears on this team. McCarron's going to try a deep shot, and that's going to be out of bounds. My answer, guys, I'm fascinated by Trey Burton, all right, because such an interesting path. You win the World Championship. You make the play that's going to be shown for the next 100 years. But I think Trey Burton has said this, and I respect it. He says, I am more than the Philly special, all right? We saw David Tyree on the Giants make one catch and then never play another snap for the New York Giants. Trey Burton says, that's a great play and everything. I am a professional tight end. I'm going to have a long career as a playmaker, more than just a one-hit wonder. And I think he's right.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think you're really going to see him flourish in this scheme. This thing is built for tight ends. And Philly didn't even really use him to his full capabilities. And I think the Bears will this year.
Well, their number one is Zach Ertz. And certainly the Bears target him. And he got paid pretty well to join the Chicago Bears. But I'm with you, Kyle. It's his time right now. With Selleck there and Zach Ertz, he kind of got overshadowed a little bit with all the things he can do. He's a great athlete coming from Florida. He can play quarterback as well in high school. And then here, look at the
here it is. Ooh. And listen, it's a great play. He was told by Doug Peterson emphatically, run it, unless he's wide open. Yep. Well, guess what? He was wide open. And it's the thing, you have a play like that, and he'll sign autographs on that picture for the rest of his life, and good for him. But it doesn't mean you have to be a one-hit wonder. Dexty's Midnight Runners had Come On Eileen, they never had anything else. This is his next hit this season. He is back in the studio. This is his next hit. And I think, you said it, Jim, I think he's a big part of this offense. You go out and you make that move, and you write that check. You're going to use them, right? You're going to do it. You're going to use them a lot. My wife spent the whole summer insisting that we needed a very expensive swing set in our yard that I probably couldn't swing. I got it anyway. And now since we got it, and no matter what, I tell the kids, get out on the swing set. If it's a tornado in our yard, I want you on that swing set. Trey Burton is the swing set of the Bears offense this year.
And he's a chess piece because, again, the way they utilize their tight ends, he's going to do a lot of movement things, all the alignments he can line up in. Clearly, he can throw the football. You can do gadget plays with him. Even if it's shovel passes, you see those type of things where he can turn it upfield and make plays with his legs as well. So a very good athlete. And they said, I think a pro's pro, like you said, I think he's a serious guy. He's not done. He knows he has not reached his heights of what he can do with his athleticism in the NFL.
I hope you're right, Jim, and I think you are. We have a review on the field as McCarron threw out and it's incomplete. We're not sure. We'll figure it out during the commercial break. But these Bears are rolling. More after this.
First, incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 11 at the 24.5-yard line. Please put 10:09 on the game clock. 10:09, please. Thank you.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Advocate Healthcare, the official healthcare provider of the Chicago Bears.
So before the break, we had what was called a catch by Bills receiver Keith Tobridge. There's a challenge. They looked at it. And, guys, even in this era when we don't know what a catch is, we know that this is not a catch. Yep. Overturned, no possession, no control, you name it, incomplete. Another win for the Bears.
You see, he didn't secure the ball down there. There was the obvious one right there.
Sometimes you think even the obvious ones, they don't get it right. But they did.
Well, Buffalo, I think about them last year. They lost that game to New England. Kelvin Benjamin.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown. Oh, I would have been hot. And like you said, you got to test these officials and see how they're going to call it. Are they going to go to the letter of the law, which is supposedly the quote-unquote word is control. No control there.
Well, the Bears' D's been in control, but AJ's going to try it again, and he got it. That is a touchdown right in the breadbasket. 24 yards, beats man-to-man coverage. Robert Foster, guys, for 6 points. We're in a single digit.
Looked like Michael Joseph out of Dubuque. He's been challenged, was challenged out in Denver against Cortland Sutton, right in the bucket. Just gets beat off the line of scrimmage. It's kind of the identical play how he got beat out in Denver. Didn't get his hands up, didn't get the reroute. If you are playing the inside slant, you got to be able to flip your hips if he does take the outside release to take it, and that's twice that Michael Joseph has paid dearly on the go route.
A.J. McCarron put it right on the money. It was a great throw from him.
You know, the coverage was there. It was a perfect throw. You said it. The coverage is the perfect throw is going to beat it every time. And the Bills have taken shots tonight. They've gone downfield several times. The Bears have been able to turn them away. That time, though, like you said, Jim, right in the bucket, 6 points. Extra points good, 27-16. 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. So there's Coach Nagy. We got a brand new administration. They've got new players. We have a new outlook. And guys, we have a new building. Look at these Hallis Hall updates, additions, the viewer. Corey, feast your eyes on this.
Impressive, Jim. And this is a little bit after our time. Why couldn't they have that when we were there, huh? Why?
Look at those tubs, Corey.
Yeah.
That would have been good on the body.
They're like infinity pools.
No, it's a beautiful facility. Over $250 million they've invested. And obviously, you know, in today's game, I mean, it's 365. I think we know that, and you got to have a nice facility for your players. One, to take care of their bodies, but to go train, study, all the things that's required to win on game day. But it is going to be a beautiful facility when it's all done.
Just tenacious ping pong games going on too, guys. We had there was a Tariq Cohen versus Taylor Gabriel showdown that got heated. Two young guys, two fast guys. In fact, we might be able to show that to you in a little bit. But first, let's get to the kickoff. Now, guys, 10 minutes left to play. The Bears were just cruising in this one. But now the lead's been cut to 11 after a couple touchdowns. This one's going to come out. Here we go, John Franklin. Last chance you, and he gets tackled. That will not be a fumble. But I mentioned one of the great matches. I don't know if this is Boris Becker, John McEnroe, really nice whatever it may be.
This little pattern right here. But I know I can beat Turbo for a fact. It's 1-2 now. Come on. Look at it. Come on. Look at what? It's back on there. It's back on there now. It's back on there now.
That was a little Forrest Gump overhand right there.
You know, I love these guys, and they're incredible athletes. Am I wrong? Or are they not that good at ping pong?
They're not good at all. When I would play for the Bears, Devin Hester, Robbie Gold, they put spin on it. They would slam that thing like Venus and Serena Williams. There was none of that.
Okay, so Gold and Hester is an interesting match. Those two guys were playing against each other?
All the time. And the thing is, Jim had talked about it. They didn't have a ping pong table when he played. No. We got that slightly afterwards.
The game room was not allowed when we played there. It was focused on football.
Jim, what did you guys have? The vibrating football game down the field? You had a tire and a stick that you would usher down the street for your amusement?
We rolled a piece of paper and flipped it through your fingers.
Oh, that's a blast. Who doesn't love that game?
Rolled a piece of paper into a triangle.
This newfangled technology. That's how it was back in the day. Paper football. Paper football. Jim, as you know, I can't get enough of the 0-1 Bears, my favorite team. Give me the locker room atmosphere. If I were to walk in 2001 Bears locker room right now, who are the big personalities? Who are the guys chatting? Who are the guys running show there?
Well, R.W. McQuarters, he can put on quite a show. I mentioned Olin Kreutz and Chris Valerio. And
there's a
Rex
show.
Tucker, the offensive lineman. Blake Brockermeyer was a pretty funny left tackle to play with. So he was kind of a silver spoon guy. Everybody kind of gave him the rub, but you know, he could dish it out as good as he could take it as well. And defensively, you know, as I mentioned, between Keith Traylor and Ted Washington, there's not too much you were going to say to those guys. They kind of dominated the whole locker room because they're big, strong, tough guys who are great teammates and great to play with.
We had a completion of Tanner Gentry and a complimentary first down signal from Tariq Cohen, just as you were talking about personality, Jim. This is going to go for a loss in the backfield to Niall Davis. You mentioned one of my favorite names, R.W. McQuarters.
Yeah,
great name, great personality, and there's an image Bears fans will remember from that season. Nobody believed in you that year. There was not, all the prognosticators were not talking about you. And I think it was 3-1. You got to 3-1, and R.W. took it upon himself to find a marker board on the sideline and write, "Do you believe in us now?" and held it up to the cameras. Now, in the Instagram age, that may seem kind of tame, but in 0-1, that blew your hair back. And and we did believe at that point. That's when they were real deal.
He was a big personality and a big part of our team. He brought a little swag to him. And
you got to have it.
Yeah, and I think the guys started to buy in, but he knew his role on that football team, and he made great plays for us. And interesting enough, he lived in that same complex I did, and we would stroll over to Stevenson High School. We didn't know we were watching Flash Gordon right down before our eyes.
The all-time leading rusher at Stevenson, right?
Go on.
Yeah.
Don't talk anymore about that, guys.
We were right up
Touchdowns,
the
a whole
road.
bit. Princeton, running back. Yeah.
We were right up the road from the half-day inn, and there was a little shortcut back to your high school. We're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy running all over everybody?
Jim, you've played in the playoffs. Corey, you've sacked Brett Favre. We don't need to talk about what I did against Libertyville, all right? Or how many rushing yards I had against Warren. That's all right. I did my thing. You guys did it better. But, Jim, you mentioned swag, the ubiquitous word in 2018. If that was the guy, if RW was bringing it to you in 01, who's bringing that word to 2018 Bears? Who is bringing the personality, the panache? Who are you bringing?
I think Tariq Cohen definitely can bring a lot of swag. There's no doubt about that. Eddie Jackson may speak softly, but he carries a big stick. He just, his physical presence, I think he brings a lot of swag. I think Trevathan and both Roquan probably won't say much. He'll do it. He'll play with swag, just with his play. And I definitely think, when you look at Akeem Hicks, he's the leader. That guy can, for me, as a leader of a defense, I think he's the guy. Everything goes through Akeem Hicks up front. He's been a great spokesman in the locker room, the ambassador of the team. He does everything right, but at the same point, he expects guys to play hard and play football.
A name quickly, Corey. Give me the swag. Who's the name on the team? You got the swag.
Turbo Gabriel. Turbo.
Look at Tariq right
there.
Lil Smokey. That's enough swag for the entire 53. Bears up 27-16. We love you, Tariq.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Welcome back to Soldier Field. Defense is out there right now. Bears holding on to a 27-16 lead in what's been a pretty exciting game, guys.
Oh, really exciting. Both sides of the football, special teams, they've done it all.
I think right now we started the game with it. Finish. You have to finish drives. We've seen, a couple of turnovers here in the second half, so tighten it up and finish the game. That's the goal to get the win.
Had a big lead. The Bills have been chipping into it ever since. Big third quarter for them as they run up the middle. 5-yard gain for the Bills on that play. So we're 10 days away. We're almost to the opener. If I was to ask you guys, if you could pick one Chicago Bear other than Trubisky who needs to have a big year, who the success depends on maybe a breakout year, a jump year, take Trubisky out of it. We know how crucial he is. Who's the guy you look to?
Akeem Hicks, and I look for him. Defensively, it starts and ends with him, right? Him in the middle, he's going to be a force in there. If he can get things going, it's going to free up a talented pass rusher in Leonard Floyd.
I agree with that. I think Leonard Floyd has to have a breakout year. I know he's dealing with the injury right now, but the pass rush that we mentioned, for him, he's been in and out of the lineup. That pressure has to be there on the outside. They've got the big bodies interiorly, whether it's Roy Robertson Harris, Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Jonathan Bullard. Those guys are good. Now those dudes on the outside need to make big plays. We haven't even seen Aaron Lynch. Is he going to be a part of the mix, or Sam Acho, or is it going to be one of these other players like Isaiah Irving that steps up and really seizes and takes that role?
Big tip of the hat to John Franklin III for getting a hand in there, breaking up yet another deep shot by the Bills. They've tried a half dozen of them tonight. The Bears have thwarted most of them as McCarron goes down. McCarron keeps running, and they're not pretty, but they move him down the field, and they're getting the Bills in scoring distance again.
And what you see is a tired defense here. A lot of these guys are going 4 phases of special teams that people fail to realize. They're doing punt return, kickoff return, and then going back for defense. So this is an all-out game that they're super tired.
Well, we'll get into this discussion what Rod Marinelli used to tell you before the last game. Just out of the outreach.
All right. Yep. Well, you got me intrigued. I love Coach Marinelli. Who doesn't? Go on, Jim. Deliver.
So Rod Marinelli, who I coached in that last preseason game, some of the young guys, right? He said, I don't want to hear, I'm coming out, I need a break, tapping your helmet. I'm gonna give you the finger because you're not coming out in this game. And that's what it is. You see these guys fighting to make the team, and they're going all 4 phases because defensive ends in this league play 4 phases if you're not heavily involved in the rotation.
Well, suck it up, Buttercup. Did you have to go get the oxygen mask? What did you have to do?
Yeah, that's what I had to do. You just have to do it. It's one of those games where you sleep good the next day.
You got to do it. I'll say it again, that the football geek in me I know it's not the most glamorous, but I like the last preseason game because I like the storylines. I like a guy, if a guy makes a tackle, he plays for Chicago Bears. If he misses it, he's working in real estate. And good luck to you and everything like that. But the stakes are so high. As you see some of the guys who their job is already taken care of, but the guys out there now, they got 5 minutes and 20 seconds maybe to play professional football for the rest of their lives if they don't make a play. I find it compelling. And there's a play. There we go. We got a sack. That's Abdullah Anderson. Double A.
Yep.
Both he and Savon Walker, they've really had a good game. I mean, they have not taken a quarter off a playoff. They really haven't. So both have been critical. One earlier in the game when Anderson tipped the ball that led to the Timu interception, and Savon's been disruptive all night.
And you saw right there, they ran an exit stunt. He come around. It wasn't pretty. He kept working, and that's what you like to see from the young guys.
Keep
the
going.
Effort plays.
Keep working.
So tell me, guys, level of confidence heading into the the season, specifically in the Bears pass rush. I know we're looking for answers there, looking for health. What's the level of confidence right now in that Bears passing rush?
I have a lot of confidence in it because, again, I think Vic Fangio can manufacture it. Just like the cross-dog blitz that led to the interception to Doran Grant. He can scheme a lot of things, and they've got athletic guys that can make plays up front. This is a pretty nice catch right here.
This is Logan Thomas. This is hands, guys.
Former quarterback who was converted to tight end now finds himself catching the football on the other side. It's been a long road for him, and he's starting to look like a NFL tight end.
23-yard gain. The Bills again in scoring distance, and they're going to get a big run here. A huge collision there in the middle of the field. Ford with a gain of 6. So we got some theater here, gentlemen. It's 27-16. If the Bears can keep them out of the end zone here, we'll feel a lot better about it.
They need to bowl up. These young guys, they're tired. Dig deep within yourself and get a stop here.
Yeah, make a play. Somebody's got to make a play. This is where maybe a time to step up.
A.J. looking. He's got all day. Leaves the pocket. Is he going to run again? No, he fires, and that's 6.
It's tough to give him that much time, Jim.
That much time for him to step up, survey the field. They can't cover all day back there. I mean, again, they're breaking into their scramble rule drills, and by then everything breaks down and it's chaos, and everybody becomes a free-for-all. And again, Michael Joseph.
So, guys, they're going to go for 2. We're going to try to cut it to 1 field goal. This thing got compelling real fast. Because the Bears were blowing the doors off of them, and A.J. McCarron is scrapped. He puts his drives together. He's done some things with his legs. And here comes the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, those guys are gassed. You could tell them putting their hands on their hips, breathing heavy.
Yeah, you could tell he had, no one was near him in the pocket and still decided to elect to escape and scramble on that particular play. But there was no pressure within sight.
So here it is. Bears in much better shape if they can turn this away. McCarron working out of the shotgun again. Pass rush in his face, and that's incomplete. Big play for the Bears defense. Big play.
And who is it again? Abdullah Anderson. He's looking great out there. Pressure, working that motor. That's what I love to see from the young guys.
A nice job on the back end of the defense by Michael Joseph. Really forcing the receiver, giving him no real estate in the back of the end zone where A.J. McCarron was trying to float the football. See him cut off the receiver who's going to the deep route in the back of the end zone. Nowhere to go.
He knows where to go, and so does everybody watching. You go to Postgame Live. Join Lou Canellis, Jim Miller, the great Corey Wooten, Jeff Joniak, Anthony Herron, and Tom Thayer for Bears Postgame Live. Brought to you by United Airlines, the only place for live postgame press conferences and player interviews after every game on CW50 Chicago or Fox 32 Chicago. Go ahead and check your local listings for Postgame Live. Corey, look at you. You're a busy man.
Trying to diversify. Get like you, my man.
No one's as diversified and as weird as my resume. You don't want that. But the Bills have diversified by scoring 19 unanswered points, guys. They have put things together. It's 27-22. So what the Bears need to do is they need to run some clock here. The question that follows the preseason a lot is how much do the wins really matter? To the players, to the coaches? What significance did you put on whether the Bears win this game or if they just get some good tape and a good workout?
Early in my career, I thought the wins were important. I think every time you step on the field, you try to win. But then I started to realize it's really about seeing guys in certain situations. Really, you're going to focus in on one guy to get him lathered up, maybe a new acquisition like an Allen Robinson or a player that you signed, and how they're going to fit into your system. And so over the course of time, the wins didn't matter to me as much as a player.
I agree with Jim, and it comes down to chemistry. That's what you want to see in the preseason game, offensively, defensively, how you're gelling together, the checks, the calls, how the route running is, how the receiver and quarterback are working together. You want to see that chemistry.
Well, the Bears are going to try to bleed some clock. Niall Davis goes with a 1-yard run. That'll help. Bills with the 2 timeouts left. If they can move the chains 2, 3, 4 times, guys, we're out of here.
See, it might not sound like much, but here's a 4-minute offense situation where you got your heavy personnel out there. You're trying to pound it. The goal is to what? Get a first down. Keep the clock running. And so it's important. We run these drills in training camp, and remember how big the coaches would harp on it.
Let's harp on the schedule, gentlemen. Let's look ahead to the first 3 games of the season. This is an incredible animation, by the way. Looking ahead, we're accessing the scheduling computer. There's electricity, and you better believe we'll be out there on the field, too. Talk about it, guys. Green Bay, this is as tough as it gets. Week 2, Seattle.
Yep.
Week 3, Arizona to the desert. So we got Packers, Seahawks, Cardinals. And we've talked a lot about Packers, Jim. What jumps out to you?
Well, I think 2 quarterbacks that are extremely mobile. So you got to be able to corral those guys. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, his return, just his impact of being there again for the Green Bay Packers is going to be something to overcome as well. And you got to make a statement. And certainly corralling those 2 players I think are going to be key against Seattle and Green Bay.
Lambeau and the 12th man, those are extremely loud places. When the defense are on the field, their defense, it's going to be a hard place to play for a young quarterback. So they're working that in practice with the crowd noise and all that to get him ready.
A good point, getting the offense up and running. If there's a lot of audibles, checks, things like that, Trubisky's going to have to get it all coordinated because that's what it's going to be loud in that building.
That's the first quarter of the schedule, but as we've talked about all evening, the first game, Sunday night at Green Bay, national television. Doesn't get any bigger than that.
Nice throw off his back foot by Tyler Gray.
A little bit of officiating by the sideline of the Bills. The official agreed. They say incomplete. I believe is that Tre'Davious White? Yes, one of the best young corners in the league. Great player for Buffalo. Headed for DeMarcus Ayers. That pass incomplete. So we're back to punt. Guys, it is fantasy season.
Yep.
Big fantasy season. A lot of drafts this weekend. A lot of drafts last weekend. I think we have a challenge out on the field. My challenge to you guys, if you were to participate in a fantasy draft, who is a Bear you're looking to grab? Give me a Bear. For anybody out there who's got their draft this weekend.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass. Chicago is challenging that call.
In my fantasy officiating league, I have Brad Rogers, and he's doing it for me tonight. I'm winning my league. But as we look at the replay, what do you think?
Well, the process is, does he have control? He bobbles it right there, DeMarcus Ayers does. Now he's got control. I would say that's a catch.
Yeah, it looks like a catch.
Because now it's not through the process of the ground.
Oh, the ground.
Jim.
The ground. The ground calls it. Yeah.
That process, you got to trust the process, as the Eagles say. That goes on and on.
He had control of the football before he went out of bounds, is how I'd rule that.
Trust the process. I thought that was Joel Embiid.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And right now it's Jim Miller, though, because he's going all in on this one. Jim, are you sticking to your claim you think this was a catch?
Because here's how I think he's got it. By the letter of the rule, the new rule, he has to show control. Technically, why do you have a line of demarcation? That's out of bounds where the ball, he's out of bounds. So he has control inbounds, and now control right there.
Yep.
Hits out of bounds, now he lost control. Yep. To me, that's a catch.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3 components. Number 1, control of the ball. Got that. 2 feet down, another body part. 3, a football move. Let's get the call,
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed of an incomplete pass. Chicago has been charged with their second timeout.
See, to me, there's no difference in that than a receiver catching the ball at the corner of the pylon in the end zone, and then he steps out of bounds.
I agree with you.
It's a touchdown.
It's a gray area, the whole catch thing.
So you don't believe in quote-unquote completing the process?
I don't believe in that at all. Because to me, he's out of bounds. Why do you have an out of bounds? The play is over. It's a dead ball once you touch that white line. So he had control inbounds. Once he fell out of bounds, he lost control. So it doesn't matter. He's out of bounds.
You're saying when he has control of it, the second he becomes out of bounds, he touches that ground, he's out of bounds, the play is over.
Play is over. But he had control prior to going out of bounds.
Why don't we take a look one more time? As we have another flag coming down appropriately, let's take a look, guys. Take a look at the 3 components.
Control
Again,
the ball.
All right, so in this play particular, control the ball, yes. 2 feet down, other body part, yes. Football move, One of the strangest phrases in the football vernacular. Jim, what do you think?
How can you make a football move when you're going out of bounds?
Exactly.
You can't make a football move.
Can't.
Well, isn't going out of bounds a football move?
No, it's not.
So didn't you make
See,
when he fell down?
Look,
Yeah.
he bobbles it here. Now he's got control. One, two.
Out of bounds.
Catch. Now he's out of bounds. That's a catch.
Right, out of bounds is the end of the play, right?
That's right. That's a catch all day long in the history of football.
Yep.
That's a catch. And now we've made one of the most basic plays in football, the most unrecognizable plays ever seen. Because of all the minutia of football move and this. No, he had control and he went out of bounds. That's a catch.
Talk about a controversial catch. My rookie year, we played Detroit and Calvin Johnson.
Oh, yes.
And that, what we thought was a catch, but they overturned it. I mean,
crazy. And that's where it all has spiraled out of control from.
Look out. We got another sack. That's our guy. The Bears only ran 30 seconds off the clock in that draft, so Bilal Nichols, rather Kylie Fitz.
Yep. It's a young guy.
Sack.
Look at him come around the edge there. And he's just kind of free. He just keeps going, keeps working.
He's flashed. You want to see more from the sixth rounder. He's had highs, he's had lows, and you want to see more of what he can do on a consistent basis.
4 sacks for the Bears on the night. McCarron, another deep shot.
Ooh.
The gentleman was knocked down. Somebody check on him. I hope he's all right.
Help him up.
Now, I don't know if that was the catch. I don't know if he made a football move, Jim. We have to get all 3 components, you know. We don't know what that is. As we're going to check on this play and others. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, have we not made the game more complicated than what it needs to be? What we're asking these officials to rule on everything. Clearly, he's out of bounds there.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah,
hopefully that guy's all right. Hit his head.
Yeah, we need to get the training staff to that man. I'm sure they're on top of that. But clearly not a catch. You know, we're going over the rules over and over, and it seems like you read the first one, to control. You read the second one, 2 feet in bounds, and then it should just stop. 2 feet in bounds and control, that seems good to me. And then you get the third roll, and it's chaos.
It really is unbelievable, because when your inertia forces you out of bounds. Yeah,
and the gentleman appears to be all right. They're checking on him. He's getting a nice round of applause from the fans here at Soldier Field, and he deserves it.
Good to see. Get that man some water.
Second and long for the Bills. McCarron from his own goal, and they get him again. Sack number 5.
Bilal Nichols, my guy, the big dog. There you go. There you go.
That's what you call finishing.
There you go.
Finishing the play.
That's how you
right
finish.
there.
And you're going to see him here. Ooh, the nice move. Outside club, arm over. Great move.
Look at the guys on the sideline.
For him.
Burton, Trubisky, Acho, jumping up.
And I think that's something you've seen. It's a genuine camaraderie among this group and how it's come together for this football team under Nagy.
You know what I like about Bilal Nichols? He's a big fan of Bilal Nichols, and so are we. More from Soldier Field after this.
Corey, so you never know what they're thinking with
I
him.
love Grant, his ability to pick 6. He stepped in front of the route. His textbook coverage all day. He was good with his hands, and that pick 6 was huge for the momentum of this game.
Jim, handicap it for me. We know Ryan Nall's trying to make this team. What do you think his shot is at making the 53?
I think it's tough for him. I think he's more practice squad eligible, because I think Benny Cunningham does a little bit more in special team situations. So they keep those 4. Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen, Cunningham, and then Burton potentially.
Oh, what a play. We had it's kind of a half Hail Mary. There is a flag down on the field. And I believe it's roughing the passer against the Chicago Bears. So A.J. ran around for 30 seconds, chucked up a prayer. They roughed him, and now they're going to get a first down.
Isaiah Irving was looking for a holding call there.
Coach is hot.
It's the shot to the head.
They called, the forcible blow is how they classify it.
They're going to call that every time.
Got to show some restraint and pull away there. You got to.
It's hard, though, when you've got a right-handed quarterback, reaching the ball, either quarterback. Or I'm saying they're trying to swat the ball, and just inadvertently, they're going to probably hit the quarterback's helmet 9 times out of 10.
Huge development in the game, because now the Bills have 1st and 10. A.J. McCarron's trying to mount a game-winning drive right here. Let's see if the Bears D can step up. Flush from another flag down, guys. Another flag. I think it's holding against Buffalo. Let's take a look as McCarron runs out of bounds.
Number 74 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And Jim, the guy we talked about, Kylie Fitz, he was in there rushing the passer. It looked like they held him there.
Kylie Fitz has had a night, hasn't he?
Oh, he has. He's really flashed. Him and Irving, Abdullah Anderson, the whole D-line, Walker, all these guys.
I'll give credit to the big men. They were still trying to track down the quarterback, scrambling down there. Bilal Nichols, for a big man that he is, doing everything he can. So there's no quit in these guys. Let's see if they can finish it.
Corey, you've talked about all night. You can't come out of the game. You can't say I'm out of breath. This is a minute 39 left. You got a chance to play in the National Football League. Make a play.
Yep, this is gut check time.
Exactly right. LaShawn McCoy on the sideline celebrating the catch of 14 yards. Brandon Riley.
There's a lot of shade on that sideline.
There is. It's a little bit shady. I can tell that. You don't need it at night typically here. These Lake Michigan breezes cool you off, but a lot of shade on the Buffalo sideline. Question is, will they throw any at A.J. McCarron on this drive, Corey? Because he stayed in there all night. The Bears pass rush relentless.
Yeah.
Here he is with a 2nd and 7. Going to have to go the distance for a touchdown.
They've been chasing him all night. I'm impressed with this front 7.
Bringing pressure. Karen stands in, delivers, and is complete over the middle. They will move the chains again. That is Brandon Riley once again over the middle, 22-yard gain.
He still has a timeout to work with here, so let's A.J. McCarron, he's going to work the clock a little bit as they go hurry up.
4 wide, running back next to him in the shotgun. That pass rush trying to make a play, scrambles again. And A.J. McCarron will run out of bounds and stop the clock. 7-yard gain, guys. This is kind of electric here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you see how tired this front is. It's always the toughest in that 2-minute drill when you can't rotate it. Some of these guys, they have to stay in there the whole time, so there's no rotation going on.
Well, McCarron looks tired too, as much as he scrambled tonight.
Oh, yeah. He's been running for his life.
But, you know, need a touchdown. You got 1 timeout left, 1:02 on the clock. You're over the 50-yard line. Still can, you know, he's thinking just try not to make the big play right away. He's still going to try and matriculate it down the field. Doesn't have to go up for it all at once right now.
I'm smelling an interception right now, Jim. I'm just smelling. I'm going to call my shot. And I almost got it. But there was some toe drag swag. They signal incomplete. Michael Joseph on the coverage, and we have
personal foul.
A flag.
From the passer, number 76 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Another one.
And you
Same deal.
See right there, anytime you go to the helmet of the quarterback, they're going to call it every time.
They have that strike zone that we mentioned earlier in the game. It's pretty much the chest to the top of the knees is what the strike zone is at hitting the quarterback.
They got Abdullah Anderson for it. They're trying to make a play so bad. They're trying to make a play. Yep. They're trying to a play here. You're getting the win for the team. Maybe you're making the team. I get it, but that's the 2nd time in 5 or 6 snaps that they've had the roughing the passer. And the Bills are set up. Plenty of time with the timeout. Need somebody for Chicago to make a play. Pressure. Deep shot, nobody home.
And you guys see right there, they heated him up with the blitz. They saw it wasn't working with the front 4, so Fangio dials that up right there.
That's normally, once you cross the 50, when you're in that 2-minute drive, you've had some success. You're normally going to heat them up a little bit, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
Jim, we got another penalty. I'm not making it up. I wish I was. But there's a flag on the field. Brad Rogers, the workhorse tonight out on the field. That is your referee talking over. Let's get the call.
Intentional grounding, offense. Ball's placed at the 45-yard line. Buffalo has chosen to take a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
Intentional grounding is the call.
Well, there was an in-cut to the backside. Yeah, there's no receiver in sight. There was the in-cut coming in, and he threw it to the outside. He's looking for it right away.
He saw that blitzer. He got that thing out quick.
Coach has talked on and on. Regular season, preseason, I don't care. We are here to win. Guys, if you look at both benches, there is no one sitting down on either sideline. I'm looking at all the stars for the Chicago Bears up in front. All the Bills are up. They're into it. I see Shady McCoy. I see Kelvin Benjamin. All hands on deck for the home stretch here, these final 52 seconds. Well, the Bills took a timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff, by the way. 52 left. They are out of timeouts, Jim.
Yeah, and as Corey will tell you, I mean, you're rooting for your teammates. You develop relationships with a lot of these young guys, and certainly you're fighting for certain guys to make the team that you develop those relationships, and then you know that they can help the team. So give both sides a lot of credit that they're standing up, rooting on some guys that potentially may not be here in the near future.
Exactly. You said it. They love to see these young guys compete, and some of these guys might be able to help this roster this year.
Kyle Long is down on the sideline, beseeching the Soldier Field crowd to get to their feet.
Getting them going.
5th preseason game. McCarron's going to go deep. He wants it all. He's got a receiver out there, and it's incomplete. Easily the 9th or 10th deep shot for A.J. McCarron. They have tested this Bears secondary, and they've stood up to the challenge.
Robert Foster, if he keeps it more to the outside, he potentially had a shot, but he threw the football too far inside. He's got to bend around Michael Joseph. Now with the contact right there, no way for him to get to the football. Good job by Joseph, playing inside technique.
Remember about an hour ago when this was a Bears blowout, and this one was just put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner. That's easy. We got now a 3rd down, gentlemen, 3rd and 21, 45 seconds to play. McCarron working in the shotgun as he has all night. And we got a stoppage of play. Bears timeout. All right.
Time.
What do we think strategically? Look at Nagy just pacing the sideline. Do you want him to bring pressure, Corey Woon? Do you want him to sit back? How would you do it?
I got to bring pressure. A.J. McCarron, he's been a little in the pocket. He hasn't looked that good. At times when pressure's come in his face, he get the ball out quick. He had the intentional grounding. So I'm going to heat him up on this situation.
Well, like you said, I think that was a clear indicator, too. When he does get pressured, he throws off his back foot a lot, which tends to cause the ball to air up a little bit. So I'm with you. I mean, no harm, no foul. You'll still have guys potentially rallying to make a tackle if they do elect to do like a blitz zone. That way you have guys in the last line of defense to make a tackle. So I agree. I'd heat him up right here.
Remember, the drive was kept alive on a 4th and 22 by a roughing the passer penalty, one of 2 on the Bears on this drive. 3rd and 21. Soldier Field comes to its feet. McCarron steps up, delivers. That's complete over the middle. 1st down, Buffalo. And they're in business as McCarron runs up to spike the ball and stop the clock. 28-yard gain on 3rd and 21 to Kalen Clay.
Elected to play coverage, only brought 4 and found the soft spot in the zone.
No pressure in the face. He's able to sit back there and deliver a strike.
You want the pressure, Corey.
I love the pressure.
Want it more now.
Dial him up, baby.
They better dial it up now because the Bills are on the verge of ripping this one away in the final seconds. Soldier Field, August 30th, on their feet.
Yeah.
Let's go Bears. You can feel it. The seats are shaking. Tyler Bray looks on. He has gone the distance at quarterback for Chicago, as has A.J. McCarron for Buffalo. 2nd and 10 after they spiked the ball. What's Buffalo got dialed up? 3-man rush, forthcoming late. McCarron scrambles, looking, waiting. He's going to run it. He's got room. He has another 1st down, and he's out of bounds. They got all the time in the world.
You see, Jim, they had all the time in the world. It's all about rush lanes, right? That right defensive end, defensive tackle have to be there, and they were over across the other side of the field. You can't do that.
And force him to retrace his tracks and scramble to his left. Good. I mean, it's good coverage right there. Nobody's open. They start to get a little pressure, force him to scramble out, and then, of course, when you're back there in coverage, he's going to be able to just run to green grass. Does enough to get out of the bounds and stop the clock.
He's bleeding them with these runs, guys. McCarron's 54 rushing yards, not known as a guy who makes plays with his legs. But here we go. 1st and goal. Bears bring pressure. McCarron throws, and it's a touchdown. Touchdown, Buffalo. That's Tobridge. We saw him earlier on their official review. Buffalo takes the lead.
It's just the wide drag, wide shallow cross. Bears going man coverage. They bring the heat to the weak side. You have 2 guys in coverage. You wonder if there's a bust, as 2 guys were covering Tobridge and still beats him in man-to-man.
And you saw Iggy there, number 45. He kind of was unsure of his coverage.
It's an odd thing with the 2 trailers there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right there, and neither one of them can make a play. It doesn't look right.
It seems that would be the odd man to double right there.
McCarron's had a lot of highs in his football career. Multiple national championships. He's been through the battles. It's a gutty drive from him, guys. They're going to go for 2 to try to get it to that 3-point lead. Worked out of the shotgun all night. Steps up, and they're going to get it. That is another sack for the Bears. D. Irving here. All right. So we're down 1. We got 13 seconds. options, guys. What do we got?
Well, first, you hope to get a good return if it's even returnable. And then minimum, you're trying to at least, I would think for Tyler Bray, he's got a strong arm. I would say minimum, get to the 45-yard line, have a shot for a Hail Mary throw.
Yep, that's what you got to do. You got to hope that they can get to the 45 or 50 and then take a shot deep.
No timeouts for the Chicago Bears. That is not an option. You are not going over the middle. Tyler Bray, you said it, Jim. Tyler Bray comes in at a stout 6'6". He has a big arm.
He's got a big arm. He can launch it. Again, key is going to be a good return, good completion where you can get out of bounds just to get yourself in an area for a Hail Mary play.
You know what's got to be frustrating for that Bears coaching staff is they had him stopped, and they have a couple penalties, a couple personal fouls. The reason that touchdown happened.
It's frustrating, and you got to coach. And I know it's tough for the defenders, Corey, because like you said, you're trying to hold up your hands to bat the ball down, and then you end up hitting the quarterback's helmet, and they'll call that every single time.
Does Taquan Mizell get a shot? No, this one's going to come out. The thing about the calls, too, I don't think any of us are disputing the calls. You know, it wasn't one of these calls that's controversial. It was 2 shots to the head, to the face. They had to call him, and they did. But Bray gets the call now. 13 seconds, no timeouts, down 1. Let's spread them out and see him chuck this thing. Give these people a show. He's had a nice night.
Well, Buffalo's probably going to be playing the sideline, so if the Bears elect to hit an in cut, you got to get down right away, get the ball to the official, get up there to clock the ball quickly so you have a shot if that's the direction they elect going in.
They say that magic number sometimes is 16 seconds to get up and snap it. They'd have to work really fast here. Does Bray have some magic? Sideline throw incomplete. So now we're 7 seconds. I love him. I think he's got a big arm. I don't think he can throw it 85 yards in the air.
You could call him the old hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder. That would be great,
Coach
right?
Miller?
To
Coach
win the game like that?
Let's do it.
Hook and ladder.
Somebody get it down. Nagy's got the headset off. This is it. The Bills have safeties standing around the 50-yard line. I hope we get a Hail Mary here. No timeouts. No time. Down 1. Tyler Bray trying to make something happen here. My cohorts are saying hook and ladder, and we're going to do the Stanford Band. Or at least an abbreviated version. Niall Davis gets tackled, and that is your ball game. Buffalo 28, Chicago 27 in the preseason finale. Last time we will see the Chicago Bears until Lambeau Field, Green Bay, 10 days from now. What do you think, guys?
The last few weeks, I like the offensive showing. I think they've really done some good things on offense, and defensively, the sacks are getting there in bunches, but at key moments, you have some breakdowns.
So I feel comfortably about them defensively. It's offense. I want to see how they're going to gel, how the chemistry is week 1 with all these new receivers.
We've talked a lot about pass rush. Is that going to be a thing? Can they rely on it? Now, we had a couple penalties at the end of the game that led to the loss. But that pass rush lived in the backfield all night. I was impressed with them tonight.
Oh, yeah, they were all over the place, from Walker to Bilal Nichols, Isaiah Irving, Kylie Fitz. All these young guys that you're expecting could possibly have roles in this Bears team.
And, again, they could be counted upon early due to the health of, obviously, Leonard Floyd and what's going to happen with Aaron Lynch. So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. What happened tonight was an impressive showing by the Buffalo Bills at the end of the game. The Bears the first 3 quarters. Guys, I can tell you it has been my pleasure to work with you, Jim Miller,
a lot of fun with you guys.
Corey Wooten. This is a